I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
What's going on, everybody out there, for Wolfpack Wednesday, the last episode in January that you guys will see, because tomorrow is Groundhog Day. And too sweet to everybody out there, as well as my panel members here. Too sweet to you, Brick. You're on mute, just FYI. Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to see everybody in the chat here. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way in. You know, last week we talked about Hot Toys or 6-scale figures in general. It was a slow week. And, well, they picked up and they gave us a lot of stuff over the past few days with some drops. So we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff tonight. If you're in the chat, again, don't forget to like, but also give us a hello. Let us know you're in the chat. Maybe a too sweet if you're a channel member. And even if you're not, throw one out to us and we'll catch it. And, yeah, good to be here. Good to see you, Sneaker. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good. Long week right now, but ready for tonight. You know, a great way to end the middle of the week and hopefully cruise into the weekend here shortly. But yeah, excited to chat with you guys. Excited to talk about figures as always.
Very good, very good. Brick Artemis, good to see you. Did you get a haircut?
Thank you. Over a week ago, you asked this last episode.
Very good.
Yes.
How
do I sound? Do I sound okay? My volume keeps turning down. Like,
yeah, it looks like
I don't know,
going away from us like this.
It's like fluctuating a little bit.
Yeah, and as I'm looking, my volume's turning down by itself. So I don't know why.
Oh.
So you checked
an old priest and a young priest in Brick's house.
Yeah.
It's weird. They perform an exorcism. Well, either way. Glad to have you here. Hopefully we're going to be able to hear you. And DLO The Collector in the house as well.
Moving on. Yeah.
Spiffy as ever.
Hey, thanks, Graham. Wow, so nice of you, man. Well, boys, happy Wolfpack Wednesday. Excited to be here once again to share some time with my broskies and the chat, of course. Too sweet to everybody in the chat. Kind of like Steve said, it's been a week, huh? Feels like man, last day of January. Where's the year going already? It's going so fast. But I'm excited to talk about some of the figures and some of the topics we have lined up for today. So without further ado, let's fucking go.
You know, you say the year's going quick, and it does feel that way. But at the same time, it always feels like time is going so slow too. Like January, it feels like New Year's was forever ago, and
right.
You think back to things you did earlier in the month, and it's just like, oh,
like life is
worse up
fast.
here. Like it's worse up here than it is by you, I think.
For sure, yeah. But I mean, it's cold now. Like right now, we're probably going to be like at 44, 45, something like that tonight in Florida, which is bonkers, but it's whatever. But but it feels like the year's going fast, but it feels kind of slow now. Does it kind of feel like we kind of went through a little slow patch in collecting? But
right,
we got some good stuff to talk about tonight, right?
We do. And speaking of a slow patch and then collecting, kind of speeding up a bit, I feel like I went through a lull in January, and then the Batman came and the Bat Cycle, and then that kind of like, usually you're like, that's going to hold me over. But then sometimes it just opens the floodgates, and you're like, what the hell am I doing? So I have the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Star-Lord coming tomorrow, and might do a video on that, not sure, but comes with the short coat, the long coat, all the cool accessories. So excited to have that as long as everything checks out when he arrives. And then that 35% off Sideshow, you got to give it to them. They're smart. Like, they know a lot of people are going to just like want to use that code and like almost like have the upper hand and say, I used the code, so I won. So I wound up getting the Tusken Raider, and he'll be here Friday. So I'm still excited for that. But I mean, I got him super cheap. So I have those two coming in. So I'm excited for that. Now I really have to go back to being a good a good boy and holding my own here. But Sneaker, I know you did something too, so I don't know if you want to quickly share that.
I did nothing.
You did something.
So yeah, I had a little birthday bash on Saturday, live stream talking about the 35% off. Was gonna buy some stuff on there, and then got the Jazz Inc. Batmobile, 22 Batmobile weightless conversion, and I'm an animal, and I bought it, and it'll hopefully be here next week. So gotta get hyped about that. It's supposed to be coming next week. Yeah, that's a big one. Got a couple figures coming in too. Have a Mark V coming tomorrow, and also thank you, Brick, for hooking me up with doing a little rewards for cash swap deal that we did. Thank you, Brick.
Yes, sir.
Artemis, Wolfpack member. And, and also upgraded Goblin comes tomorrow. No, Friday.
Ooh,
So
I'm excited
I got
to see
some
on that one.
stuff coming.
Damn, you
in.
got a lot coming.
Yep, and yeah, so that's what I did. But just bought a Jazz Inc. Batmobile for my
Didn't
birthday.
you guys vote me last week as the guy who couldn't go the longest without buying a figure? I still think Sneaker would win that.
But also it's my birthday, so like this is a birthday. This is a
Thanks.
birthday
True.
purchase.
True.
Birthday purchase. So, yeah, only happens once a year.
That's a
So,
big birthday
you gotta
purchase.
you gotta cut me a you gotta cut me a break. But yeah, it was a conversation. My wife and I had a nice conversation just about collecting in general and the
She
purchase.
sat you
and
down.
It was a yeah.
Now, Steven.
No, she's very supportive, and yeah, I'm super happy that I get a Batmobile in my collection. I really don't know what to expect because like this is really honestly my first vehicle. Like I have like the Bark Speeders. That's the biggest vehicle I have in my collection is a Bark Speeder. I have 2 of those, but this is gonna be like, this is the largest thing in my collection at this point. So I really don't know what to expect. Never seen a Jazz Inc. anything in person. Heard good things, so I am pretty pumped to see how it turns out when I get it. Before I even have my Batman.
Well, we're excited for you.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
it's gonna be fun to watch that fog machine go. Brick, I know you have been holding back, but what's on your mind with collecting in the next target? You've been talking a little bit. You just came out with a video, but one of those grails is at your local shops that's within grasp if you just can figure out how to make it work.
Yeah. Is my mic okay right now?
For now.
I just want to make sure before I go on this long ramble here, but yeah, I've got the T800 battle damage at the local shop that I know Grandma's talked about a lot, Freak Toys. Went there the other day, saw it. I did not pull the trigger, but it gave me the idea of doing that video. So I went ahead and did, the Top Girls video and whatnot. But now that I've done that, I can't stop thinking of the T800, and I might have to go back there at some point, maybe next week if it's still there, pull the trigger. But I did just I ordered the Buzz Lightyear, so
yeah,
I will be getting that. And then I have Batman 89 paid off. I got a lot of these pre-orders paid off. So really looking forward to that. But the Padme, which I'm sure we'll talk about, she is not paid off, but she is coming. She's pre-ordered. So yeah, nothing this week, but hopefully Buzz comes within a couple weeks. We'll see.
Where'd you order that from?
Underground.
Okay. Did he have it in stock, or was that considered a pre-order?
It was considered a pre-order, I believe.
Okay.
Because
So,
it
yeah,
said,
probably.
yeah, it was. So
Very cool. Very cool. DLO, I know you had Cobb Vanth, I think last week when we were on air.
No, this was over the weekend.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, fill us in on what you got.
Yeah. Ironically, I bought that on Steve's birthday. Go figure.
Okay.
Yeah,
got
for
the
me
thing.
though.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
that's
send
right.
it-
Because we said it'd be a day that will never be forgotten at this point.
Yeah. Gosh, man. I've had a good couple weeks. I've got RoboCop in, right? I got the Prankster recently, and then I recently acquired the Multiverse of Madness Doctor Strange, which, by the way, is amazing. Love that figure. That's definitely was worth the upgrade from the original one I got there. But I think I got integrated suit Spider-Man as well too. So nice little haul. I'm kind of like, I was listening to you say, like, you just got the Batman. You were like you thought you got your fix in, and then
Yeah.
my local comic shop was running a special and had a little anniversary discount on everything in the store. So I went there and I had a lot of it already.
That's right.
And the only thing that was on the shelf there that I didn't have was my old friend Cobb Vanth. And I said to myself, I know I'm going to get so much shit for buying this, but I'm going to buy it. Screw it. Because the price is too good. I'm just going to do it. Whatever. So I officially have a Cobb Vanth in my collection. He's okay. He's not bad. It's not great. He's just okay. But yeah, it was a good price. Couldn't turn it down. It looks good when you put them next to the Mando figure. So
That's all.
happy
I
with
mean,
that.
yeah. If I didn't have such a problem with the head sculpt, I think I'd probably would have pulled the trigger on that. But I can't right now, especially for the price that he's going for.
Yeah.
You know, if
Steep
it
price.
was cheaper, then I might consider it. But I don't think you're a completionist, but I think you're more of a completionist than I am. So like, I know you really wanted
Yeah.
that figure to kind of polish off your Mando line. So I think it'll do the trick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's you kind of hit it in the head with me here. Like, I'm not necessarily a full completionist, but like if
But
there's
you
like,
wanted that one.
it's kind of one of those things where I love the character, right? Like
Yeah.
Steve loves the character. He loves Timothy Oliphant and all that stuff like that. And that's all good and well. I'm a big fan of his too. But it was just like, it was one of those things where like I hit 2 out of 3. Like, I like the character, I like the actor in this case here, but I wasn't crazy about how the final product came out. So I was just like, oh man, I really wanted this one to be good. I didn't really feel it was that great. But yeah, like I had a vision of how I wanted my case to look, and just like I kind of had that on the back burner, like, man, like I really want a Cobb Vanth. And
Yeah.
honestly, if I didn't get a deal on it, it would probably still be on that shelf at the store. But you throw in a good deal. I mean, stop me if you've heard this before, guys. Like, if you find a good deal on something that you're on the fence about,
Yeah, it'll
it's
push you.
easier to pull the trigger on that. So I did. It looks okay. I think it looks great together. Like on its own, the head sculpt, so. But when you put them next to Cad Bane, and then you see Mando in the background, you just it fills out the picture you have in your head. Like, okay, I can live with it. It's pretty decent. So, but yeah, that's what I want them getting. And I'll admit it. Yeah, I talk crap about the figure, but
He still
I
does.
got him in order. I still do.
It does look really good. Like
I
when you put him next to like I have mine next to like the swoop bike, and then Cad Bane standing next to him. And then like I was actually gonna like get my sand base back out for Cad Bane, because I feel like I have a couple sand bases in there that actually like it just brings it all together. I feel like having Cobb
Sure.
Vanth in there with him. The look, it just like you just really get that look and feel of Mando, I feel like, with
For sure.
adding him in.
That base
Yeah.
though is sick though. That's probably one of the best Star
It
Wars
looks
bases
nice.
I've seen in a while.
It's really
And
cool.
it doesn't have to be massive to be an amazing base, right?
And it's
simple
modular.
touches.
Like you
yeah.
can move
Yeah.
a piece on it to make it kind of how like you can subtly change it. It's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like for me personally, like I enjoy Hot Toys doing bases that are modular and simpler like that, as opposed to getting these ginormous, one of one kind of pieces that like will absolutely take up tons of real estate in your case, and you gotta have less figures in there that you couldn't fit in because of that, to accommodate that base. But like something like that, where it's a regular rectangular one and you can put something on top of it just to kind of give it like a little bit of a style. I think that's a great compromise between going all in on all these huge bases for every figure that you make, as opposed to just doing something simple like that to just, it complements the rest of the background.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, and then you don't have to make a choice between a really cool but large diorama base or having more figures in the cabinet. So it's a win-win.
For Sheezy.
All right, well, let's quickly say hello to everybody in the chat. Hopefully you guys have checked in, but really quickly, I do want to end this poll. And 29 votes, 55% said they'd rather have the 2022 Jazzing Batmobile as opposed to Venom and the Tumbler.
I didn't know you put a
There
poll
you
out. I saw you said poll, but I didn't see it.
So there you go.
Oh,
Because I know that's what Sneaker was kind of going back and forth about, like the turmoil in his head. Like, do I get these or do I spend this much and get this?
It's tough.
So that's
It's
kind of
tough,
where he was
man.
at.
And it's like, I think ultimately too, as much as I want it would be nice if Hot Toys came out with the Batmobile, which I still think they're going to end up doing.
I think so.
Like this was the only opportunity I was going to have for this. And like, just knowing how high I am on the movie, just like with it essentially being I think it's my favorite Batman movie. I go back and forth, but With it being like just I'm not going to get another chance. Like it's been sold out, waitlisted. This is my only shot. It's limited 500. So like finding it on the aftermarket would be a pain in the ass, I'm sure, if I ever decided I wanted it. So I guess worst case is if I end up not wanting it. I don't really see that happening, but I don't see it as an issue trying to get rid of it. I'm sure somebody out there would probably want it, but yeah. So ultimately decided to pull the trigger.
Well, then when you talk about 500 pieces, it kind of makes 1,500 from a Hot Toys look like a lot too. So I mean, it's pretty small.
And I think it's so
there.
cool. Like we were talking a little bit, I was messaging you guys about, because like you get 2 packages. So you get the Batmobile, but then you get like the metal display plate that has like the signatures on it and you get like a numbered plate. So like it'd just be nice if we got that for limited stuff otherwise too, where we get just numbered stuff. So they make it feel, it's very premium, obviously premium price, but they make it feel premium too. And like with it actually being a numbered display plate that you get to put next to it and stuff is pretty cool.
Right on, man. Well, yeah, excited to see that in your collection. Yeah, your DC is coming along slowly, but surely that Batmobile will take up a big chunk of space. So that'll be a presence in itself. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that.
Where are you going to put it?
Oh, yeah.
I have a case actually. So if you can't tell behind me, like I revamped my cases. So all of this, like I moved some stuff around. I put Mando all at the bottom, which was over here. But to this case right here, to the I'm trying to like point, but this case to the left of that over here is I emptied out an entire DF 120 for Batman.
Wow.
Yep. So I have a full DF, and then yeah, I have a full, like I moved my Clone Wars Bark Speeder stuff over to this side too, over here. But yeah, I cleared out I pretty much have like an entire row set for DC right now of 2 DFs. Yeah. So I have a spot ready, just waiting for the Batman to come in, and that I have a spot ready for all of the Batman stuff. So looking forward to getting it displayed.
Very nice. Well, let's check in with the chat. I don't want to keep you guys waiting, but really quickly before I do, last week we briefly talked about starting up a Discord, and that night we started up a Discord. So if you guys want to come hang out with us 4 as well as other collectors out there and chat it up, talk about new figures, photography, advice, anything like that, come join our Discord. I do have a link in the description of this video, so you guys can go check that out. All right, let's see how quickly I can do this and get through this. We have Cylon, a newer channel member. Hello, everyone. Here as always, Too Sweet to You. Thank you for being here. Another channel member, Prime Time Reviews. Good to see Brandon in his house. What's up, Dave? Dave's Man Cave IRL. Hey, guys, looking forward to the show. He says he's about to pick up the 22 Batmobile from Jazz Inc. Just wondering, any thoughts on it, guys? Has anyone tried the Hot Toys figure in it yet? None of us on the panel have the Batmobile yet. Sneaker's got it en route. You're still waiting for your Batman as well, right? No word on that?
No word on that yet, but it's sounding like it's at like the earliest it's going to be is like probably mid to late February. It's not going to be, it's just dependent on Sideshow, because I got mine from Underground Figures. So just waiting on Sideshow to ship the batch to Ray, and then so just waiting on that. Who knows?
Waiting game.
Who knows when that's going to be.
We got Queso Blanco in the house. Sup, people? Made it in time. Just got off the new job. Well, hey, congrats on the new job, and thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Christian Cooper, what's up, guys? Good to have the Coop Man in the house. How you figure? What's going on, everyone? Too Sweet, another channel member of the watch. We got Doc Bat. What's up, good people? Good to have you here. Love to see the every weekers, as I call them. X-Man Supreme. Hello, everybody. Hammer of God. Good to have you here, my friend. Flavio's House of Collectibles. What's going on, dude? Too Sweet to You. Let's see. Collection Obsession. Thank you for being here. Tristan, what's going on, my friend? How are you? Justice for Bricks, Mike. We got Brad in the house. He actually just he got, I can't remember off the top of my head which Bad Batch figure it was, but he was searching for one of the Bad Batch figures, and Crosshair.
Yep.
And he made his first purchase at Toys Buying Agent, and came overseas within like what 3 or 4 days, I think he said, and yeah, so it worked out for him. They're a solid company as well to buy from. We got Joven. He won the Taskmaster a few weeks ago, so congrats to him, and hopefully that figure is looking good on the shelf, which I'm sure it is. Tighter FL, what's up, everyone? 10 out of 10 intro as usual. We got SG Collectibles Wolfpack. Let's go. Yes. Yeah. We're gonna talk about the Joker in a minute here because that's the first thing on the docket. But I want to know who's getting that thing as well. Movie Cannon. Hello, panel, fellow collectors. Thank you for being here, my friend. Joey, good to have you here. Wouldn't be the same without Collector Joey, so always good to have him here. He's given the 2 sweets as well. We got Joe P in the house. Good evening, everyone. After passing one too many times, I jumped on a RoboCop pre-order thanks to a restock at Underground. It's always a good feeling when you think you miss out, but then there's like that second chance and you get it. So that's, as nice. Brick can attest to, and even DLO, that's an amazing figure, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed with it. Yeah, Tusken Raider is so underrated. Yeah, I gotta pose. I'm stealing from Jedi Patrol that I'm gonna put him in when I get him in. So got it all planned out. But yeah, looking forward to having him back in the collection. We got Striker 47. Happy Wednesday to everyone. Looking forward. Looking forward. Notification that my Padme is on the way, as well as my Anakin Skywalker from Clone Wars. Yeah, hopefully soon. We have Darth Tamaris in the house. What's up, Playboys? What's going on? We got Jazzy, another channel member in the house. Good evening to you. Nick's Collectibles, thank you for being here, my friend. What is up with you? Let's see here. We got Ronaldo Rodriguez. I like to see 1/6 scale Speed Racer MK5 if Jazz Inc. decides to do it. That'd be pretty dope. Pretty dope. How You Figure says 2-hour birthday stream going back and forth between Venom and Batmobile just to get Jazz Inc. biggest plot twist of 2024. Thank you. I told him he owed everybody that was on that stream an apology.
Subverted expectations.
He was asking for advice, which one we're gonna get, and then didn't get any of them. So
if I wouldn't have got a waitlist conversion, I would have. It was crazy because I was literally about to pull the trigger. Like I had it in my cart ready that day, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it today. And then I got the email, shortly after. Like it was pretty, yeah. So.
Is that your apology?
I still want those other 2. I apologize to absolutely nobody.
Nobody. Well, then you're going to get this.
If you think this is the ass-kissingest son you ever saw, give me a hell yeah. What?
I got you guys covered there in the chat. Don't worry. Got you
demonetized.
Just like no, I'll figure that out in about 3 months. That's when they'll be like, oh, by the way, you're demonetized for that. So, Chris Santos, what's going on, dude? Thank you for being here. Let's see. Yeah, Cobb is definitely overpriced. I got shipping notice for Vengeance from Sideshow finally. Good job on that, Doc Bad. That's too long of a wait. I would really wish Sideshow would be able to figure that out, but I know it's not all their fault either. TX Boy 210 in the house. Yo, what's up, everyone? Hope everyone's good. Yeah, we're just hanging out, getting ready to get this show started. Eddie Rodriguez, always good to have you here. He says, I need to hear your take on Batman's distasteful, disrespectful death in the Arkham series game.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad.
Damn.
Did you guys see that?
Oh yeah,
full spoilers for the game.
It's ruined the whole game.
I know a lot of people are pissed about it.
Well, apparently it happened in the beginning, right?
Also, that game has had just a rocky launch.
Yeah,
the game came out and literally there's a bug that the game was just automatically being completed for players, so they had to pull it. Like people paid for the deluxe edition to play the game early, and then it came out and they had this bug, and then they pulled it.
Man.
So people got it taken away.
And it just makes the whole Arkham trilogy seem like it's worth nothing.
Also, it sucks. It's Rocksteady who made the Arkham games. It was just wouldn't think that would happen with them. But anyways,
man, crazy. Didn't know anything about it. RDS Geek. Hi, all. Welcome. We got Frank Flores in the house. Good friend of the channel. What's up, boys? Good to have you here. Oh, Jazzy. My 89 Jazz Ink converted. It's a big deal. I'm happy for you.
Wow.
Are you getting it, Jazzy?
Oh yeah, he'll get it. He'll get it.
He'll get it.
If I know him as well as I think I do.
Well, I feel like the pre-order like just closed on it though too, didn't it? Like not long ago. I thought it was like a few. It wasn't long ago.
Mm.
We were just talking about it, and then like remember we were just talking about it, and it was like maybe a couple weeks ago, and it was like pre-order from them was going to close in like a couple days.
I do remember that. Yeah,
he's gonna get it.
Yeah, he'll get it. All right. Yeah, X-Man says I don't know if I want to put my Batman in the Batmobile. That's you got to consider. You know, you might break the damn thing or ruin the outfit. So yeah, keep that in mind. We got Anthony in the house. What's up? Let's get into weekly news and less off the chit chat today, please. Welcome to the show, my friend. But you must be new because this show is about hanging out with everybody, and chit chatting is what it's all about. But thank you for being here. We will get into it as soon as we feel like it. So we're gonna respect the chat and get through them first. Let's see. And speaking of them, we have a new channel member, Brad Cormac. Thank you for becoming a Brad member. Appreciate you taking the plunge and yeah, just doing a little bit extra to support the channel. Everybody, give him a round of applause to Brad for taking the leap, becoming a member, and a too sweet to you. Let's see. And I think, nope, we got the Mall Fiend. What's up, boys? What? Jazzy says, I don't know yet. Running out of space. Well, you figure that out later, right? Figure that out later.
You'll find a way.
Yeah. All right. We are caught up. Again, thank you guys for being here. We have 52 in the house. Please hit that like button. Really just helps us small channels out a lot. But without further ado, this was what, 3 days ago. So I know, people have been talking about the InArt 2019 Joker and all that stuff. So basically, we got a 2-pack and we have a 4-pack. Does anybody remember the pricing between the two? The 2-pack and the 4-pack? You guys got that off the top of your head? Anybody in the chat want to help?
The 2-pack is $12.92, I think, on kit. I want to say the 4-pack is $17.88 or something.
Well, it's expensive, basically, is what it comes down to.
There's one off the top of my head. Let me see if I'm right. I'll go on 1.6 kit and look. I'll go off his price.
Here we go. So Hammer of God says 1K and then 1.4 retail.
Oh, okay. So that's like before shipping and stuff.
Yeah. So I gotta deal with something here quick, but I want you guys to kind of kick this off, and I want you to answer this for me. A 2-pack and a 4-pack, like a 4-pack, like who is this really going to be for outside of just Die Hard? Like, is this going to be super limited? Like, why not come out with a single pack Joker? Like, I don't understand. Like, do they not want to reach more of an audience, or like what's their scheme here? What are they trying to do? What's their goal? So I want you guys to kind of converse about that. DLO, I see you in thought. I want to start with you on that. Why do you think there's no single pack? Like, and do you think there's a problem with it, or do you think the 4-pack is going to be just fine for collectors?
Yeah, that's the $1,000 question, right? So that's a very good one. Thank you, Graham, for leaving us with that, and we'll take over from here. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in hiding figures behind a paywall. I feel like there's something wrong personally with that. There as a collector, I don't want to feel the need to have to buy something specifically just to get the one thing I want, if that makes sense. I would like there to be a single pack. I mean, I think for a lot of collectors, I think the red suit alone would be something that most collectors, if they're desiring this version of Joker, that would be the one they want. Everything else would be just a great add-on, right? If you want, oh man, I really love this version of Joker, I want to get this one. That's great. That's an option there for you. But I think we're missing the boat here, and there should be a second. Now, I have heard speculation that, you're specifically from the guy from InArt, the rep, supposedly that's part of the agreement with Warner Brothers that they have to make it a certain price for this. I think that's a load of malarkey. I don't believe that for a second. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like with these InArt release here, it's like either you get something that's a really good value, and sometimes I think it's overpriced there. So I don't want to take up everything here. Does anybody want to jump in and kind of put their 2 thoughts in about this so far, about just the price alone? We're just talking about that specifically.
Yeah, I think that if they went a single figure route, I think they feel like they lose out on some money, and then nobody's going to buy these multiple, these bigger boxes. And I think this is a good way to kind of somewhat limit it without numbering them, right? And then also make their money off of it. To me, this is not. I'm surprised that they did it to this figure, because it doesn't. For me, I didn't know a lot of people liked the Joker like this Joker. Like, obviously, it was a thing in 2019, but to make it feel like Heath Ledger and to make it feel like Jack Nicholson and have these 2 in a 4-pack, like a 2-pack I get, but a 4-pack, as awesome as it is, it looks phenomenal. I'm not putting it down at all, but there should be that single pack.
On the price. We're talking price. We're not getting into that point.
Right,
for sure.
right. But there should definitely, but that's what I'm saying, kind of getting to that price range. Yeah. Like you have a price range of what it's at a 4-pack and then a 2-pack. I think if you want to bring more people into your life, your story, your basically your store, and buy your figures, I think you should let them start with a single figure and see where it goes from there before you constantly do these 2 and 4-packs. Like, you know what I mean? Like it always just seems like, nope, you got to pay this much. But yeah, that's what I got to say.
Sneaker, what are your thoughts in regards to the part where, again, mentioning like the mandate from WB that this figure has to be a minimum of $1,000? I mean, do you buy that, or do you find is that strategy?
I guess I don't know why this is my thing with it. I guess I understand that if that's what Warner Brothers is saying, but my question is, why then did we get a Dark Knight single pack sculpted Joker that was not $1,000? Like, why for this movie are they saying it needs to be a minimum of $1,000 for you to do this iteration of the Joker? Why didn't that happen for the prior Joker release? You know what I mean? So I guess, like, why for this movie all of a sudden did they say that needs to be the thing that they have to do in order to make the figure? Like, there must be, I guess, what's the point? Again, like, I know the 2-pack, like the Dark Knight 2-pack rooted one was over $1,000, but we still got a sculpted version of it. You could get single, you could get double sculpted. So I don't know. I don't really know why that's a thing now. Maybe it has something to do with just like their licensing agreement for the like for Joaquin Phoenix, for the movie itself. I would hope that they're telling the truth, and they wouldn't just say, like, for their own financial gain that it needs to be $1,000. Another thing is, like, I mean, it's still going to cost over $1,000 for a lot of people because of shipping and whatnot. But it's just kind of an interesting concept in regards to the pricing. My main question, like I said, is why this one over $1,000, but the Dark Knight, which is in my opinion is a way more popular thing. And so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe they say, oh, this one's going to be not as popular. We're going to put a really premium price tag on it. I don't know, man. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
It's unique in that the fact that I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second. It's unique simply because, if you look elsewhere, Hot Toys never released their own version of this Joker, right? So just to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt, let's say they are saying the truth here, and it's more specifically a mandate from WB. If it makes sense, Hot Toys would not release $1,000 Joker. That would never happen. Rooted, artisan, whatever. There's no way a Hot Toys collector would ever pay $1,000 for any figure, at least right now, right? So, it kind of makes you wonder, because you only seen third parties, you've seen statues come out there. So, again, I don't necessarily know if that's 100% true. If that's the real reason, maybe it could just be, kind of deflecting the price onto like, oh, it's there telling us to do this and not us having to do this. We don't want to, because to your point, so you made a great point. When we got the Joker, we didn't just get, a rooted Joker. We got the 2-pack rooted Joker, which was $1,000. We got a sculpted version as well too. So we had other options. This one is strictly like rooted for every single one, whether it's a 2-pack or the 4-pack. So it almost feels like, just to kind of, again, play devil's advocate, the other side of it there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this feels a lot more high end, probably the most high end figures that I personally can acknowledge as saying, I would say this is the most high end one they've done so far.
Yeah.
From an aesthetic perspective, they put in a lot, and it shows in the work and the quality is here. So maybe there is a valid point to this here, but there's also a part here as well that is interesting, because I'm not sure if you guys have seen, I think Steve, you brought it to our attention in the chat, where there was a conversation about potentially splitting up the pack. Is that right, Steve? It was like possibly
like Kit from 16 Kit had posted what if there was the potential of splitting the 2-pack into singles, I believe, or split and offering the option for people to get maybe one or the other. I don't know, he just posted that. I don't know what that,
right, just as a question,
something like that, but as a question, and there's a lot of people on that were commenting I would love to get the red coat Joker, right? Everybody wants this red coat one. That's the main one that everybody wants. So yeah, it's interesting. And I know too, going back to your point, DLO, about this being their premium offering. I know they said this rhodium, they're calling it the rhodium is their top of the line. They're marketing this as their most premium line within InArt. So yeah, I mean, you're paying a premium price, and I think regardless too, even if it has to be over $1,000, the rooted ones are going to be this price anyways. That's just what they did that with the Joker. We don't even have a sculpted option, so that's just out of the question. It's nice we got it for the Dark Knight, but at this point, it's a rooted 2-pack, so the price is on par with what they did for the Dark Knight Joker in that regard anyways, if you, I guess, making that point. There is no sub $1,000 option because they're just going full on premium with it, starting with a 2-pack, so just why it's out of the question, I don't know. Probably something with the licensing of maybe this movie, they just said it needs to be a higher price point for this particular movie in general if you're going to do something with it. The next thing I will say is it's going to be really interesting to see if Hot Toys does anything with this. Because what if Hot Toys decides, oh, we're going to do an artisan red coat Joker, and that's going to be the only one we release. We're going to drop it. Yep.
And then they drop it just before they.
Yep. What if Hot Toys' next artisan,
they release theirs? Actually,
what if their next artisan announcement is this red coat Joker as a single figure? You know what I mean? Just something like that could end up happening. Yeah,
and I think collectors just need to be aware of that as well. I mean, it's a risk either way because it could not happen. So, if this is a Joker that you really want. I mean, aesthetically, like you guys said, there is nothing wrong with these figures. They are extremely detailed. The likeness is amazing. I don't see myself right now looking at a figure. I'm looking at photos of on set. It's just that good. The tailoring looks great. The details and the accessories that you get, just the head sculpts alone, the hair looks great. So I can't say anything wrong about how the figure looks. For me personally, I've seen the movie once. I liked it, but at the same time, I didn't see a whole lot of rewatchability in it, a lot of value in going back to it. It was so dark that I think that almost turned me off from the movie a little bit. So while it is Joker, and Joker's one of my favorite villains, this take on it isn't one that I kind of gravitate towards a lot. So for me, being with the price, and I especially don't need 4 of them. So I'm out. I'm not even considering, any of these, but I can also admit that they look freaking fantastic. So very, very well done. Man, and we're running a poll right now too, just to see, would you guys buy the 2-pack, the 4-pack, or are you completely out on this? And I know some people are saying too, it's a licensing thing, they have to meet this amount. I've heard that before. Again, we don't know if it's 100% true, but it seems like that's kind of the biggest rumor going around, in the community. SG Collectibles says it's a deal. I order the Joker Artisan and it's almost 600 for just one. Does that make you guys think a little bit too? Maybe it's it when you break it down, like the 4-pack, isn't it like in the high threes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So you
like-
get more
it's like
value with the
360, but
Yeah.
but also I'll say too, like the Artisan Joker, I'll say like that is a direct competitive price to where instead of picking an InArt 2-pack, you can get one for essentially the price of what you would pay one for InArt. But you don't have that option for a premium figure from InArt. You have to buy the
Exactly.
2-pack rooted. So that's just more of a competitive pricing thing, I think, from Hot Toys in that regard, where they do that. But yeah, I mean, the 4-pack is a lot more of a, the 4-pack is there's a better value in the 4-pack. Granted, you're spending more money because you get the 2 extra figures for, you know, a few $100s more. Yeah.
Why do you need 4?
Man.
Well, I mean,
I know some people want it, but
just to kind of add into Steve was said real quick, Rick. Yeah, I mean, the thing about that, the value of that 4-pack, it is a good value there, but you're also asking customers to pay that up front there. I mean, if you're doing it with Kit, at least here, you got a $300 deposit. Excuse me, I beg your pardon. So 200, 300. I think it's a $300.
I think one is 2 and one is 3.
Right. I think the 4-pack is, but so you got $300 up front, and then I think in total it was like $1,400 at the time of delivery. You have to be super disciplined with navigating the hobby with whatever other stuff that you're either pre-ordering or getting on the secondary market or finding deals on eBay. Like, there's no like window that says, okay, we're definitely going to give this to you at this point in time. I mean, InArt's notorious for this here. Like, people are still waiting for, you know, are now getting their Pennywises finally. People are still waiting for Gandalf, a la me, and stuff like that. So you have to have that money on standby. I said the other time we were talking, like, I got to keep $500 in my bank account all given times because I'll never know when I'm going to get that invoice on my figure. So to trust that you're going to have $1,400 at a whim's time, that's a lot of money to have on the back burner for a 4-pack. So it's a value on paper when you break it down, but you're either all in or don't even bother pre-ordering that because you're just going to lose $300.
Right. Like you said, if you're gonna think you're in on this, like, really put the money in a separate bank account, or, you know, just do something so that you're not losing out. Because I hate to see a lot of people, kind of like with the Jazz Inc. stuff, you know, that we've seen now with the 22 Batmobile, the 89 Batmobile, the wait lists are converting because people now don't have the cash, but they're losing out on a $300 deposit. So, you know, again, just try to be smart about it. I know things happen in life that we can't control. I've had to cancel pre-orders myself. So, but man, these are big ticket items. So, you know, just be careful.
I think too, like, these are, you can order as many of these as you want right now. So that's another thing, is like, anybody who wants this has the ability to order it. Whenever that's going to close, who knows, but they're not limiting the amount of orders right now. Like, I think that's another thing, is Kit said if you want, you can buy 50 of these from him if you want to. So I think when you get this 4-pack, I've already seen all the rumblings of people saying, well, like, I'm just going to sell off a couple of these figures just to keep the 2 and make some money and pay less for a couple of the figures that I want. To me personally, I probably wouldn't do that because I can see the aftermarket people are going to be selling some of these off. Like, this is a lot of figures. Like, I'm sure there's going to be some people keeping all 4, but that's a lot of figures for one character to keep, unless, again, like, you're a diehard fan. Like, this would have been a good option to have a 4-pack for the Dark Knight and give us, like, you know, like a Nurse Joker. That would have been maybe, like, I feel like a different story, but I feel like this version of it is just like, you got to be a really diehard fan to want 4 of the same figure. And like I said, I can see people saying, well, the 4-pack's a better value. I can buy this. I can sell off the other 2 that I don't want, probably make maybe a little bit of money, but there's going to be a lot of people that are probably going to be in that mindset of trying to sell one off. And like, the secondary market's going to be really interesting for this.
Because it's going to hit so hard that a lot of people are going to struggle to have that kind of cash.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to recoup some of that. And like Hammer of God said here too, yeah, secondary market will be flooded with Arthur Flex going for 300 on 2-packs when this thing releases 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
even look at
that's the thing though. You got time,
Dark
so start
Knight.
packing that money away.
Yeah, even with Dark Knight, like the rooted 2-pack, people started selling off just one of them because they didn't feel like they needed both. Now imagine like what's going to happen when you have 4 figures. That's going to be crazy, but I think it's cool. Like you said, Graham, I think these look phenomenal. Also, this like smiling kind of like laughing sculpt you don't really see a lot of head sculpts that do like a smiling, laughing expression where it looks like this good. This looks
It's unique
so
as hell,
good.
too. Yeah.
Yes, this looks like just incredible for them to pull off like this smiling, kind of like happy expression. You just don't see a lot of figures that do that. So that one's just, looks really cool.
The hair on this one looks great.
yeah,
The closed eyes too. So at least they're all like different in their own way.
All very unique. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
they
all
look-
gorgeous,
they look
but
great.
I'm just looking at there's a 4-pack for almost $1,800. If I was a collector and I was in a position where I was on the fence of either getting this or updating my display for all my other figures in my collection, you can fork the same amount of money over and get a module case. Not to plug anybody, but like realistically,
A wall
like put it in
set.
perspective there, you can get a whole set. You
Right.
can renovate your entire display for the price of 4 figures. I don't know. I don't know if I can if I was that collector.
I'd
know,
rather
if I
have
were
a
in
that
Batmobile
position
at that
faster,
point,
too.
Yeah,
Right.
for me, that's another, like for me, like that's like 22 Batmobiles, like the price of
Right.
price of that, you know what I mean? So it's just all like what you want to do. You know what I mean? There's gonna be people who
Yeah.
really want this. It's just like however you want to rationalize it, put it in perspective for yourself. Everyone's gonna have different opinions, but I will say I see a lot of people buying the 4-pack. A lot of people really hyped about getting the 4-pack. Because it's a better value. You know, it's an enticing price point. Like I said, you can get 2 more figures. Like at that point, why not just like for me personally, I'm like at that point, you might as well just go all in and spend the extra little bit. But it's a lot. It's a lot of money.
What are the 2 figures in the 2-pack?
Red Coat Joker and then Arthur Fleck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Solid pack. That's
Solid
a good
pack.
pack.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful figure too. So if you could throw this one in, plus the patched, the other Joker, the almost like crying Joker, if you will. But yeah, look at this. Like, I mean, I'm sure you're going to lose a little bit of quality, being that this is the prototype, through mass production. But damn, that is. I don't even have words.
Incredible. It's incredible looking. Yeah, it's just
It's stunning. I mean, honestly, this may be like the best looking figures I've ever seen in all my
And
years.
say what you want about the figures themselves, how they articulate, or how InArt does business. Like, you can't deny that the figures just look outstanding, whether you want to buy them or not.
So,
We're all
if you guys
free
are going to
to
get
make our own
the
choice.
if you guys are going to get the 2-pack, I mean, if it was me, I would go ahead and just get all 4, because you're really only spending a few $100s more at that point. You might as well
it's a
spend
very
it,
enticing price.
Yeah, right. Well,
I think it
yeah, for
depends
sure.
on
But I mean, you're already
how big
spending a lot
fan
of
you are,
money,
too, Yeah.
right?
They
Like,
marketed
if I'm going to
this-
spend
they-
1,300, I'd rather spend 1,800 to get 2 extra figures.
Yeah, they priced this very well and smart in making people want to make that decision. Like that's a perfect marketing thing too. You know what I mean? Like you have the 2-pack, you can get this or spend a little bit more, and it's less per figure, right? It's a great way to market the 4-pack.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
really
that's
really
collective
smart.
brain math right there
Yep.
for sure.
Yep. And collectors
seems
like,
reasonable.
Yep. You might as well just
And
go
then
all in
not
at
give you
that
the
point.
option to buy one.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I think needs to happen though, guys? If we're going to really go into this realm now as 1/6 collectors, right? And this is not an InArt thing. It's not hot. It's not even a J&D thing. I just think now if we're going to start talking about price points as high as over $1,000 being a normal thing, I think these other sellers who are carrying these things here, the Spec Fictions of the world, all these other companies, I think honestly, if you want this to be a legitimate thing that's going to actually move, you got to start offering payment plans. You just got to.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to. There's no way you can expect a collector who will put down an NRD on practically anything that they like at that moment to commit to something this much at the very end when you're supposed to pay up. Not everybody's going to do it. You're going to have tons of inventory just stacked over there. It's not making any sense. You're going to be flooded there, and you're going to be on these websites, doing a buy one get one offer a year later because it's still sitting on your shelves. So I think if this is going to be something that's going to be offered to 1/6 collectors, I think a payment option needs to be made. I think going forward, because there's no way. I'm sorry, I just don't see collectors who are not willing to pay full price for a figure on the secondary market, or waiting for a deal below retail on something that's brand new that's sold out, is going to sit there and still pay $1,800 for 4 figures. I don't care how much of a better deal it is. You throw in a third or fourth figure, it's still $1,800.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's what's kind of scaring me about kind of the realm we've been like, the world's changed ever since COVID, and the markets and everything is shot way up for groceries and gas and all that stuff too, and then figures are shooting up too, and it's like, man, we thought InArt would be great for competition, but is it also just allowing Hot Toys to just jack up their prices because they're still under what InArt's doing? I don't know. Like, to me, it does concern me a little bit, and wondering like, where's the hobby headed towards? Because again, for me, it is a hobby. I'm only doing it right now because it's something that I can afford to do. But if it keeps going in this direction, I got to draw the line somewhere. Like, people are like, and I'm on a different circumstance of budget than the three of you, but it's like, well, get the Jazz Inc. Well, I'm like, $1,500. Like, if I do that personally with the budget that I'm on, I got to look at myself in the mirror and say, like, are you okay doing that? Like, did you sacrifice stuff for your family to do this? So, like, I'm that's all been kind of going in my head, and here we can kind of be vulnerable about that stuff and talk about that stuff. So, like, this kind of scares me too. Like, another $1,800 piece. The Joker 2-pack was $1,000, and we're seeing this stuff just kind of climbing. Now we have the artisan line from Hot Toys, and we're reaching upwards of like $600 when you factor in shipping and taxes and all that stuff. So I don't know, like, it just makes me wonder, where the hobby's headed, and where will I stand, going into the future with it too. So that's the only knock, and it's not even a knock because you are getting 4 figures, but I guess that's the only knock that I have on some of this InArt stuff, is just like, who can afford it? And then you have J&D coming into the game too, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then their stuff is even more expensive. So I don't know, where are you guys on that stuff, on like the future of the hobby and where you stand with it? Do you think it's a big deal? Do you see it continuing to kind of skyrocket, or what's your guys' take on that?
I think one thing too is it's interesting, this hobby, because these figures are expensive. And I think we look at a price like this when it drops, all paying at once like this, one big sum, as like it's a lot of money. But when we look at single figures, it's evaluated differently. And then you look at, like, as collectors, how many single figures you buy over time. Like, you're going to hit $1,800 if you buy a fair amount of figures. And you think of it differently in that way when it's spread out. But I feel like sometimes we get a little gun shy when it's one big amount all at once. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at how many figures you bought and how much money you've spent in the grand scheme of things, I guess I would ask people, like, based on what you've spent, is this a considerable amount more than what you already are spending on figures in general too? Like, that's kind of the other side of the coin for me, is like, this was a kind of a thought that I had when, like, going back and forth, like, whether or not I was going to buy this Jazz Inc. Batmobile, was like, well, this amount of money is really, when you look at it, like, how many figures are you sacrificing to be able to get it? You know what I mean? 4, 5, 6 figures, depending on what you buy. So I think it's all like, you got to look at you have to look at not only as like this just being one big lump sum of money, because we're buying figures that are expensive and they add up to that amount. And it doesn't take that many figures to hit $1,800, to be honest, in this hobby. It really doesn't. So I think looking at it from that perspective, I think a lot of us, like, spending that over a course of period of time is okay. Then you see something like this, oh, I got to drop $1,800 on this at once, is like, then people get kind of gun shy, right? I feel like that happens, and it's like sticker shock. But if you take a step back and evaluate how you collect, that amount of money, if you, like, if you curate your collection, or you make some decisions, like I know Joey said in the chat, like, he canceled a couple pre-orders because he wants this.
And he's eating ramen for the next year.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like how you want to go about, I think it's like how you want to go about it, right? Like, what sacrifices can you make? Like DLO said, you need to be a really smart collector when it comes to look into 2025 and see, what is my collecting going to look like at that point? Because at that point, you pay this $300 NRD, that $1,500 is going to come due. What is your collecting strategy going to be at that point? Those are things you have to consider. So I don't really like, I think it depends on just how bad you want it, and then what you can do to make it so it works for you, more so than just being like, I'm not too worried about it, because the hobby in general is already expensive, and there's so many nuances to collecting already that you just really have to, I think, take a step back and evaluate everything as a whole with how you're collecting, if that makes sense.
I think my thing with this though is that you're getting 4, and whoever wants this, it's great. Joey, I'm happy for you, but for me, I'm getting 4 of the same character pretty much. They're slightly different. Whereas if I get 4 figures in a month's time, let's say, it's going to be 4 different figures, and if I buy this all at once, then I am going to have to cancel some pre-orders on figures that I've been looking forward to for a while. And so, you do have to think about that. For me, it's 4 Jokers of the same Joker. If it was like Heath Ledger Joker, Jack Nicholson Joker, like a 4-pack of all the Jokers, then I'd probably be in.
Or getting the whole Guardians line,
Yeah, right. But because it's all the same character on a movie that I thought was phenomenal, a 10 out of 10 movie, but I'm with Graham. I mean, it's a movie that I can't watch every week of the month. It's not one of those movies. And so when you talk about $1,800, like, man, I'd rather buy an Iron Man and a few other figures, maybe even 4 other figures on top of that. So I mean, yeah, I guess it's all where your head's at, but all that money just for the one set, it's tough.
Well, and how you figure says, I think Graham is just saying it could get to a point where an entry level Hot Toys is $400, and that could lead to just a higher entry level price for collectors and new collectors. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not necessarily just that this is $1,800, but it's now Hot Toys is coming up with their price. It's just leading to more and more expensive things. Where what's the floor now on these figures? Where it used to be, and again, I get it, things go up in price, but like the floor when I started collecting was what, 220, 215, something like that, and now it's basically at like 240, 245 ish. But you're seeing more and more of these figures like, ooh, people are going to spend money on this, so let's just do the rooted hair with wool, and we'll do $450 for a $275 figure. And it just concerns me because I just don't know, like, if I'm gonna like, obviously I'll keep collecting, but I'm gonna have to be more and more selective, and I'm gonna have to slow down more and more if it keeps going at this rate. If like these $1,800 pieces or even the $1,000 pieces are like the new norm, yeah, you're getting a 2-pack, but I don't want 2 Jokers. I don't want 4 Jokers. I want, I want to be able to collect these other characters, because that's what makes my collection what it is. And I do understand, like, this Joker is everything to some people, so they're gonna want 4, and that's perfectly fine. But for me personally, it's just not something that I'm gonna zone in on. But do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, what my concern is over time?
And that's the sad thing, because we know that it's going to continue to keep rising. These prices with competition and quality, prices are going to continue to keep rising, just like it is with Lego and other types of collecting, right? Like these prices just continue to go up slowly but surely. So I don't think we're ever going to see it stop. I mean, one of these days, 5 years down the road, maybe hopefully a little bit longer, we're going to start seeing like a normal basic figure probably come in at like 485, 525. I mean, it's going to happen with quality and everything in competition. So,
yeah, I think we're getting to a unique point with collecting, kind of, Graham, to kind of touching point. First of all, you guys, I agree with everything you guys all said. I think you guys knocked it out of the park. That was well said by everybody. I think when it comes down to where I am with this, and I kind of lean more towards what Graham was saying, kind of a reminder of like when he started, like, the point was maybe around 220. Right, something like that there, and it's gradually has gone up over time. Now, obviously, we all know the economy and how it is right now. We know things are more expensive than they were before. Like, we all understand that, So, obviously, our collecting is going to go up too. That's just the nature of it all. There's nothing we can do to really change that right now. Now, my hope with InArt, when they were coming into the game, I was hoping that the competition would motivate Hot Toys to keep it competitive, but also still within a price point that collectors are used to, because there was a time right before InArt was announced that we were seeing massive increase in cost to these figures that were like jumps, like really $30-$40 more per figure. Sometimes the same character just released, but now this one's $20 more. So it was like kind of a weird time in collecting, because it's like these prices are just throwing out whatever number they want, right? InArt comes along. We were hoping that it was going to be a competition Hot Toys, which it is. In fairness, the quality is definitely You know, they're going toe to toe, and they're seems like they're going in the right direction as far as quality. They're improving a lot since their first figure. But my thing about collecting in this hobby is that I don't necessarily care about the price for me necessarily as far as my budget. If I want something, just like any of you guys in the comments or on the on the panel right now, if we want something bad, we're going to find the way to pay for it, right? If you guys want a 4-pack Joker, this is your Joker, you love this, and you love every one of these on the screen right now, cool, go for it there. Me personally, I can go with one, I'd be happy with that. That's just me. But my thing, what I like about the hobby is that there was a certain kind of balance to where if you put enough into the hobby, it wouldn't bite you later. And what I mean by that is that, with the prices going up, you're not getting the same return if you sell it anymore. That used to be the very unique thing about Hot Toys collecting. If you made a boo-boo and you bought something for a certain amount of price, well, there was another collector that would take it off your hands for that same price because it was still valued at that amount. Right. But once you get a figure now we're in a place where you're easily, just like a car dealership, you're easily losing money once you take it off the lot, right? So that's where we are. So the number to them means nothing to me as far as like, oh, well, we need it to be this number. For me as a collector, I've got to be more careful because I know whatever I buy, I need to know for sure that I absolutely want it. Number two, if I get this figure for whatever price it is, there's a good chance I'm not going to get my money back if I don't like it. So I got to be very careful with that kind of stuff. And for me, it's just like, people are going to pay $1,800, but people are already talking about splitting up and getting their money back from that. That's not collecting. That is not collecting, in my opinion.
And sorry, not to cut you off, but like just a quick side note, like what if somebody doesn't want the Arthur Fleck and they're going to sell that individually? Like, is somebody going to want to just buy that figure? I mean, I get, those are things you got to consider too. Like, are you really going to be able to sell it that easily? So,
easier said than done, right? Because like, if you don't want it, there's probably about 30 or 100 other people who feel the same way and want to get rid of their Arthur Fleck. Yeah. You're not going to get it.
It's a bad reason to buy your set.
You know what I mean?
It's a bad reason to buy this and then consider just selling. Like, oh, I'm going to buy this just to sell something. I think that's just a bad move.
Right.
Like you said, DLO, as a collector, like when you're making this decision to spend this level of money, like to just say, I'm going to buy it just to turn around and sell a couple figures. It's just in the market, like you said right now, that's a huge risk. You don't know, you don't know what, maybe you're going to make a little bit of money on it, but you don't know that because there's a bunch of other people who are already thinking that, you know what I mean? So it's like we talk about all the time, you got to be careful with what you're buying right now because you can't just turn around and, sell it and make your money back. So what you buy, you better know for sure that you want to keep it when you buy it.
Yeah.
To me, like I said, if I'm buying a 4-pack to eventually split it up there, I'm not collecting. I'm basically manipulating it so I can get the one figure that, quite honestly, the company should be offering. That's the thing there. I mean, I'm curious to see how this goes because today with InArt Joker, you see a bunch of them all the time in the BST groups. No one's like, whoever bought 2-packs, some people just keeping one, selling the other. You know what I mean? So I don't know. For me, it's collected. Like I need it to be complete. I need it to have everything that came with it there. So if I'm going to get 2 Jokers, I'm going to stay with 2 Jokers, right? Sure. But I'm not going to sit here and split it because then at that point, I feel like I'm missing out on the experience. So I don't know. Rant over, but it's just like,
no, that's a good take. Let me just check in here with the chat. Jazzy says maybe cut off third-party bootlegs and get better quality figures. I need my Mars toys though.
Yeah, that prank villain's pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Prank villain is amazing. Alfred Breda is working on his Alfred review like right now, so I'm excited to see that one. Willy Wonka, like there's figures like coming that you can't get anywhere else, so that's a really cool thing about that too. X-Man says that's a consideration too. If this was your movie, your guy, then the price or the number of figures might not be a factor that you consider. Hammer God says, for me personally, a 4-pack on one character is overkill, max 2. Offer me a 4-pack of Batman 2022 characters, Batman, Riddler. Yeah, like a whole line. That'd be cool. Like a whole line.
But the thing, this is the thing though, is like, I just want to like counter this for a second because this is already what we're doing as collectors. You don't need a 4-pack. I feel like you don't need a 4-pack. We're already getting lines and you're buying multiple figures within that line. So like we're kind of already doing that as collectors, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's why I say this one's kind of like I think this one's like kind of throwing people off a little bit because it's the same character. So we're analyzing it differently because it's the same character. But like think about how many figures we're buying from lines. So like you brought up the Guardians line. Like the only thing different about doing that is there's different characters, but you still have to buy
difference. That's a
Right,
huge
that's
difference.
the
No,
point,
that's
no,
a huge
no.
difference.
But what I'm saying though is that as far as like the amount of money that you're spending,
It's not the money. I just finished saying, like, if it's something I want, I'm going to
Yeah.
buy whatever I want.
no,
But
I just
it's a
wanted to make
matter of no, but it's a matter of the representation, though. Like that's the point I'm trying to make here. Like if you're
Yeah.
doing for the same character, if this is your guy, if this is your Joker, totally, yeah, go for
Yeah.
it. You have and if you look at it from like, I'm going to be devil's advocate for a second here, and I'm going to be pro on this one part here. If you wanted to collect the entire Joker line, perfect 4-pack, there you go, and that's a solid deal, like you've been saying. But if you're somebody who is casually collecting characters, maybe you're a Joker fan, but you don't need 4 Joaquin Phoenixes. You got a Heath, you got a Jack. Hell, maybe you have a Leto. Who knows? That's for most
Romano,
collectors.
or whatever his name is.
That's enough. That's enough representation. Or maybe you go in and get a second one because you like the mime Joker for Jack, and you got that one too. Whatever. But like for me myself, if I wanted to just get the red suit, the iconic one from that movie, I'm minimum having to spend at least over $1,000 just to get the one figure I want.
Well,
Right. So
perfect
It's-
opportunity for Hot
well,
Toys
and-
to capitalize and make
and if
but like,
I'm
the thing is, like,
you know what I mean.
and that's
But no, I
that's
get what you're saying.
You kind of
Yeah, I
made
get
my
what you're
point for me, Sneaker. So I'm glad you brought it up because it's like if you're comparing it to something like Guardians, right? Those are multiple characters there. It may be one line, it may be one movie per se, sure, but it's a team. But you have one of each
you have
character
that whole
you like.
display.
No,
You
no,
have that
no.
Fullness to
Right.
it,
I'm not
exactly.
arguing your point. I'm not arguing your point for that. I'm just kind of going back to like kind of what Graham said about being worried about the price of figures and stuff like that. Spending this amount of money, I guess my main point was like, we're already doing this. We're just getting multiple figures out of it that are different characters, which I get. That's a big deal. But collecting in this way is not something new to a lot of collectors, I guess is what I'm trying to say. In that, like, getting this many figures is not abnormal. But the fact that it's one character, I feel like is making a lot of people say that like it's not worth it because it's one character when you could have multiple of different characters. That's a little bit more enticing to people, right? Because you can round out your collection, you can get more stuff. But with one character, it seems like, yeah, it's like to spend that much money on one character. But I feel like the money perspective, when you're buying multiple characters, like it's not as big of a deal at the price point. But because it's just, it's not.
It's
Because
because,
multiple
it's
characters.
because
Yeah.
I would rather spend $1,800 on a whole Guardians line than
Right,
$1,800 on 4 figures where I'm probably going to keep 2 to 3 in the box
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, I
and
think
then
ultimately,
rotate 'em.
I think ultimately it comes down for this is how big of a fan are you? If you are a huge fan of this is going to be awesome for you. Like we all could, I'm sure we all could name a character that we would want a 4-pack of different variations, and we would be all about buying that. You know what I mean? I think that that's like kind of a point to make too, because like if there was a 4-pack Obi-Wan Kenobi, I would probably be on that. You know what I mean? If there's
Money
a 4-pack
wouldn't
Luke
matter.
Skywalker of multiple variations with all these diorama bases and stuff like that, that would be something for me. I'd be like, damn, this would be just awesome to have, right? For me, this is not that, like this version of the Joker, but I'm sure for some people, like it definitely is. People love this character. So I think it just depends on, like it all just comes back to what you want to do and what you get. But no, I 100% get what you're saying. 100%. I agree.
I know Jazzy's joking around here, but he's like me complaining 4 figures for one character is too much, yet I have all of these Batmans, Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly.
And I get that,
Exactly.
but because I have like, I mean, again, my collection's not the biggest. I'm only at just over 80 figures, so whatever. But I have, I think like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 Batmans in house, but they're all different generations of Batman.
Yes.
I do have 3 of the
Yep.
Batflicks, but they're so different. Whatever you can compare that to these Jokers, but like Spider-Man, you have so many variations of a Spider-Man where they all look different, like, or they're all from like video games or the movies from the early 2000s, or Tom Holland, or like I don't know, like that's different for me too, just because it's a different generations of a character as well. So we could joke about that too, and that's fine. But
I would just like
for
to
me,
add-
like Go
Sorry,
ahead.
if I can just wrap this up with a bow real quick, my 2 cents about this here, because obviously everybody's going to start naming their favorite character and making their fantasy 4-pack right now. So good for you
Exactly,
guys.
dude. Give that fantasy 4-pack.
But here's where I'm going to shut you down here real quick. You know what the difference is between that one and what this is right here? A choice.
Yeah.
I can choose to get all those figures. I'm not required to get these just to get one.
Ooh, that's
If
a good one.
If I wanted to get the Red Joker, I'll tell you right now, out of the 4, you know who my favorite ones are? And I'm being serious. I'm not even like just doing this to troll anybody here. I like the red suit. Obviously, I said that here. And I like the sad one over here when he has his bad day, right? With his eyes closed. I like both. I think they're wonderful. I can't do that because I have to get the 4-pack in order to get that one over there. I can't pick and choose if I want Arthur or this one or the clown from the hospital scene. I don't get that choice.
Right.
So if you want 4 Obi-Wans, you can choose which 4 Obi-Wans you want in your pack because you get that choice. If I want a certain one, I've got to get exactly which package in order it's available in. So
let's say
choice.
let's say there were no variations of a character that you loved that you wanted to get, or maybe they had one that was out and a 4-pack dropped and none of these figures were out yet and they were of this quality. What character, DLO, would it take for you to buy a 4-pack of all of them? Like, what character would you want if you had no other variations of anything? So say like it was like this. We don't have any variations really, unless you want to get a third party Arthur Fleck or like from this movie. Like, what figure would it take for you to really want to like bite the bullet and buy 4? Is there anyone that you would want to do that with?
Truth be told, it's irrelevant. You know why?
I'm just
because
curious.
They're not, because no, I'm being honest. It's irrelevant. You know why? It's because they're not making that pack for me. They need to figure out a pack that everybody's going to want, if that's the case here, right? So that's never going to happen. It's never going to be tailored to that one collector. If it was like that, we'd be paying a hell of a lot more money. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if you're not giving collectors a choice, then you force us to make a choice not to make a choice, if that makes sense. And that's just me on my side. I mean, like I said, the person who wants the Joaquin Phoenix there, and this is their guy, these are beautiful figures. Like, I want to be very clear about this, guys. Like, no one is saying anything negative about it. I have nothing bad to say about the figures.
Right.
Other than the fact that they're hidden behind paywalls to me to get the ones that I want, that I choose that I want, you know? So that's my only gripe with this here. The price, like I said, you already said it. If, if we're spending that kind of money as collectors now, then the sticker shock is just that. It's just shock. You'll pay the money if you really want it. But at the end of the day, if you don't give me a choice on which one I want, then there's really this isn't really for me.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to buy all 4 to get even 1 or 2 that you want. That kind of sucks. Well, it does suck.
Really quickly, I want to say hello to an old friend, KG Collector in the house. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you for stopping in. Also, we have Daniel in the house. What's going on, my friend? His ears must have been burning knowing that we were talking about InArt. So good to have you in here, Daniel. Yeah, How You Figure says the difference is choice. If you want to collect a line, that's your choice. If you want the subway scene Joker, you have to buy the 4-pack. It's a great point by the collector himself. We got AZ Figs in the house as well. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Imagine pack of the full 89 Batman suits. Maybe from the Flash, right? Is that what you're thinking about?
I'm assuming that's what you meant there.
4-pack Han Solo. To me, though, and again, everybody's budget's different, but to me, it's easy. I know we spend the money over time, but to me, spending that much at once is a tall order. Just where I'm at in my life, maybe down the road, it's not going to be, but, having 2 kids in daycare, private school, stuff like that, like, it's just at once too. Like, even if this was like a 4-pack of the Heath Ledger Joker or whatever you want to call, like whatever the variants are, like, I don't know if I'd be able to get it. Like,
When it's not a big enough variety to spend that much right away. Like, obviously they're all different. What I think they should have done is have 2 2-packs, like 2 separate 2-packs. Like, have the first 2. Yes.
Just do that to Nick. Keep going.
Oh,
one.
I've got 2.
Yeah. So no, I think to have 2 separate 2-packs where people can choose to buy, you know, the first two figures that you see here, the Arthur and the red suit, and then buy separately the other two, each may be going 1,000. They make more money at the end of the day. And then if I don't want the Arthur one, but I want the two clowns, I can choose to get that over the red suit or whatever. I think that would be better rather than force somebody to buy a whole 4-pack and spend the $1,800. You could choose to spend 1,000. Don't get the red suit, but you get that clown that, you know, the sad one that DLO likes, and then maybe trade off Arthur for like the red suit or something to somebody else. I don't know, but give them options.
And I think some of that comes back to like where come back to the point we started with of they had to make this a certain amount of money. They were required to do it that way.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the option to separate these out. Would it be good to separate all these out and have people have the option? Yes. Is that something they would even be able to do? Like, what would that look like from a marketing perspective too? Would they even be able to sell all 4 of these individually at a high level? Like,
well,
how many
that's
of each
something
of
else
these
I'm saying.
individually?
Now you're forcing me to buy all 4, even though you know that the people buying your product doesn't want all 4, but you're forcing them to do that.
Well,
but if you do a 2-figure pack, you can make $1,000 for each 2-figure pack. So that is
they could have done that.
$500.
Yeah, that's a great point too.
Figure.
They could have done that. They could have made it so like you do 2, whatever the price is on the 2-pack, 2 separate 2-packs for this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. They could
Yeah, I
have
think
done that.
Jazz. Look at that. I mean, Jazz right there with a mix and match.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, a la carte.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Here's why I like Jazz's answer real quick. I think this is a unique thing that, you know, InArt, if you need somebody for marketing, hit me up. I will help you sell more of these things here because you don't know what you're doing there. Great photos, by the way. I love the update on those. They look really good. But no, mix and match here. This is what they should do here because this is what hooks us as collectors here. Do the mix and match like Jazzy says. Maybe you'll do like an option A, B, or C, right? So they'll mix and match. Each character will come with one. Depending on the pre-orders for that, right? That'll tell InArt how many they need to make of these certain figures. Now, the awesome thing about that for them and for us as collectors is that what will happen in that situation there is if you do it that way, you will have fewer, you'll make less of certain figures that you know you're not going to sell. But simultaneously, what you're doing is you're quietly creating a grail within your product because there's going to be a rare one that people didn't order. And in order to get that one, someone has to either sell their pack or sell individually. Either way, it instantly increases the value of that one figure that nobody wanted at the time of pre-order, as opposed to flooding the market with 50,000 Arthur Flex that people are going to apparently already thinking about selling off before they put the NRD out. But that is how you get people on the line. You hook them. If you give them choices like that, but make it in a way where it's your call of what's going to be the more valuable one at the end of this here, that is how you get us to invest in your products more. If you're simply telling us it's either this or that, some collectors will do it, some collectors are not. That's simple as that. But you lose out on a potential customer that way. But if you do it that way and give everybody some choice on how they want to put theirs together, well, guess what? The one that no one wanted, that becomes a super valuable one. That becomes your first grail, just like that.
The thing is, though, is InArt doesn't care if that's a grail for the community. They want to make money. The grail is irrelevant to them. They want to sell as many figures as they can. InArt doesn't care if in the secondary market a figure is worth $1,000. They want to sell. Because like they don't care about these 2-pack Joker right now, these Dark Knight Jokers. They don't care about those being sold off. They made their money because it already sold, right? So it's good for collectors to get like a grail that might be limited.
But that's the thing, though. Like when it comes
to
like
us.
It's good for them as well too, because that's how Hot Toys built their empire off of stuff like that. They made things in smaller batches. They became valuable over time. We created our own secondary market for them, and then once the time was right, and they saw these figures were going for X amount of money on the secondary market, bam, 2.0, bam, reissue. They got their side of that there. So it's smart to do your customers a favor. Right, show them that you care a little bit there, because
then they're going to come back.
Because then they're going to come back. They're going to become a repeat customer, right?
Exactly.
But if I bought my 2-pack rooted Joker right now, and I see that it's buy one get one or some shit like that on one of these places here, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be kind of mad about that. That's the most money I've ever spent on a 1/6 figure, and it's half off. Are you kidding me? And then like, all right, I don't want anymore. I changed my mind. I want to sell it off here. No one's buying what I paid for. And that is not good in the 1/6 game.
Yeah.
Hot Toys is messing up too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying pro Hot Toys this, but in the beginning, Hot Toys was smart enough to make a smaller batch, let it become valuable over time because it was so limited you couldn't find it. We created the market for our secondary, and guess what? Now every time Hot Toys needs money, what's things that collectors need right now? Oh, what's that? Everybody wants a Wanda. I got it. Let's make it rooted. And we'll call it Infinity War, so that way we don't piss off the people who bought the Civil War one. There you go. Bam, we'll charge $500 for that. Done. We just made a ton of, and that's what they're doing. They're going back to the well with everything there. So, in a way, InArt needs to do that because they only have so many. And if you're just burning and churning these high-end characters without getting repeat customers, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you give people the option, you are getting more money because you're going to get more buyers. You're going to get more people coming to your business, choosing, this and that figure, or choosing this 2-pack or whatnot. And so at the end of the day, I think a lot more people buy their figures rather than saying, "Oh man, 4 figures, that's crazy. I'm just not even going to think about that. Not even considering that." So I think they make more money no matter what, and they get their, like DLO was saying, they get people to return.
Yeah.
Because they know that figure is going to be worth something,
Yeah. Really good conversation so far. I want to say hello to Riley Reviews stopping by, giving the channel a little bit of love. He says they should have done a 5-pack with a lifeless Murray body. Oh boy. Thanks for being here, Riley. Appreciate you. Jazzy says, where is the gun accessory though? I don't think he came with one.
Interesting.
I'm going to end this poll. Let's see here. All right. 71 votes. Well done, everybody. We left it up for a while. 2-pack. 5% of you are going to get it. 4-pack. 12%. And 81% said no thank you to getting the Joker at all, which is actually a little surprising. I would have thought there would have been a little bit of a higher percentage that would have been in on buying this, but I don't want to piss anybody off. But again, this is like my least favorite Joker when it comes to Jokers out there. Like I even
real quick, Graham.
Yeah,
Jack,
I'd be curious.
Favorite Joker?
Leto,
favorite Joker.
Yeah, and Joaquin. Put it up there, just out of curiosity.
I think
one thing on the board.
One thing about this movie too is like, I feel like this movie was like, as opposed to other variations of Joker that we've seen, right? Like other Batman movies, this one's like kind of grounded in reality, if that makes sense. Where like, no lie, for like a week after I watched this movie, I was just thinking about like how wrong society is doing some people. I don't want to get like really like Debbie Downer, but like it was like kind of like this movie's sad, man. Like what happens to him as a person. And like for me, it's like I said, this is like a pretty grounded version of just like, and this is happening to people. It's just like it's just like, I don't want to say too realistic, but it's just, I would agree with what Graham said. Is this like not really like my favorite variation of Joker? Like when I think of Joker, I don't think of this movie necessarily. I think of like other variations of the Joker, like how he is in The Dark Knight, and even like 89 Batman and stuff. It's just, it's a whole different feel, not something that I feel like I necessarily like need in my collection because like I like the character in that way. I feel like this movie was just it hit different in that regard.
So am I missing
I don't
got,
connect.
1 second. Ledger, Nicholson, Phoenix, and Romero. Did I miss
Put
anybody?
Leto, just because I want to laugh.
Leto? I think Romero's got a bigger following than Leto.
Cinematic though, we got to keep it movies. So Romero was not movies technically.
Well, there is a 1966 movie.
I knew you were gonna say that, but no. What was I say?
I just don't connect.
Put a vote. I'm gonna vote Leto or Romero, and then we'll vote on the favorite.
Oh, stop! All right, fine. You can have Romero.
All right, fine. That's good.
I just don't connect
ahead,
this
Rob.
Joker with a Batman. Like I don't connect him with Batman. I connect him with just his own piece. This is like a side Joker. This does not go with any of the other Jokers that we brought up. This is his like own separate story. It's not. It's definitely. There's no connection for me with this Joker when it comes to being a Batman fan.
That's a great point too. He's kind of missing that.
So that's
that piece.
Yeah.
And who knows if
That's
that'll
why
change
even-
with the second movie too. You know what I mean? The second movie will be telling,
maybe.
and I think like that's another thing they got going for this is like the second movie's gonna come out, and then like that's another enticing thing for this figure. Like they're kind of bringing it out at the right time where the second movie's coming too,
Yeah.
and people are gonna see that. It's gonna be fresh on their mind. Like that's another good marketing point for them to, you know, people are gonna want this because they're gonna see the second movie too, right? That's gonna bring people back in for sure.
Yeah, and I'm with Joe on this one, but obviously that
It's a sad movie, man.
there's people that love this Joker, and gosh, like I said, the figure looks amazing, so can't really see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, like this movie is far superior than Suicide Squad, but I prefer Leto's Joker because it's just Batman. You know what I mean? But this movie is phenomenal, like we've said many times, but it's just not that connection.
Well, look how natural he is in that chair too. You know, and
Stunning.
again, sometimes you see blogger photos or prototypes, and you're like, damn, I wish I could get my figure to pose and bend like that. But like, it looks so natural, and like it didn't really take much effort to get him into that pose. You know,
Yeah.
just looks
I
good.
think another thing too is like I know we're going to talk about J&D, but we talked about like how J&D is doing like this silicone. Like I feel like InArt does such a good job without like you don't even need that for this
Right.
figure. It looks so
point.
good. Like what more would silicone on the face do for this? I don't really know if it like this already looks so realistic in that way. Like do you really need that for this like, you know, for 6 scale? I just like this just looks so good.
Let's see here. We got Ekwan in the house. Says, I'm a Batman nut, statues, hot toys, replicas. Couldn't care less about this version of Joker, unfortunately.
That says something right there.
Yeah.
It's the purest.
Daniel says, yeah, silicone's a gimmick, and J&D doesn't even push the envelope when it comes to the other aspects of the figure. Joker 2, Basic Instinct. I don't want to know. I think I do know, but I don't want to know.
It's funny. No, I mean you don't get what he means by. I mean his legs are crossed right now.
No, I think I do. Yeah,
Okay.
the scene from Basic Instinct. That's why I said I don't want to know. But really quickly before we wrap this up, because we got to move on here. Quickly, Rob, who is your favorite Joker? We're looking at the movies here, the 4 that we put on the poll.
I'm gonna go with Heath Ledger.
D'Lo.
Jack.
That's so tough. Sneaker. I know who's your
Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger, 100%. It's so hard to beat that.
I'm so
portrayal of
torn
Joker,
between
man.
Jack and Heath, but I think I gotta go Heath. But Jack
you
was
feel me?
amazing.
They're both really good. I feel like they're
They're
both really
both
good
like-
for their
they're
time.
both
You know what I mean?
really,
No, they really are. I
really
mean,
close.
Yeah.
to me, I don't even think of them as the same character. Kind of
Yeah.
like, you know, I think everybody puts their own spin in it. I think
I would agree.
I would say Joker in the 80s, Jack was perfect. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
absolutely perfect. But I think for the early 2000s, kind of going into like, okay, what if these characters were real people in the real world? Kind of like they made, you know, Batman stuff more realistic. I think making that Joker more of just like, I mean, his backstory, his lack of backstory, that's brilliant. You know what I mean? I think what this one did in an actual film, I think Heath Ledger's like Joker really just kind of hinted at that, and they kind of took that premise and used that for this Joaquin Phoenix Joker. But yeah, I'd say, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying both of them are perfect. I wouldn't say Jack or Heath was a wrong answer.
Well, and I even have a hard time pinning the Batmans against each other because they're all different
Yeah.
in their own right, and they're all different generations too. Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to rank the Batmans because I grew up with Keaton and I love him. But then Bale, I thought, did a really good job too, revitalizing that character. But Batflick was, I think, my favorite portrayal of Batman himself. But then even the Batman, like I don't know, I love them all. So outside of Clooney, I think they all did really well. You know, Kilmer was okay for me, but it's really hard to just rank them. It's like your favorite foods, like pizza and steak. Totally different foods, but I love them both
Depends
for
on the day.
different reasons. You know, yeah, it really does.
I think
so.
Kilmer's underrated. I really do.
Did you
I
know
feel
he was supposed to be in Batman and Robin, but he took the island of Dr. Moreau instead because he felt like he was like a bystander in his own movie. He felt like it was just kind of focused on the villains.
Yeah, I saw that movie too, and that was not a good call. I would have did Batman instead. But
Yeah, they both bombed. So that was a creepy movie too. Yeah, that.
Eric, I still don't understand to this day.
All right, I'm gonna close this poll. So hopefully you guys voted on your favorite Joker, because I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. So this camera's wacky. All right, 30 votes. 73% said Heath Ledger. 13% said Nicholson. 10% said Romero, and 3% said Phoenix.
Boom.
I would not count Hamill just
Boom.
because he's more of in the animated aspect of the Joker. We're looking at like the big screen, the films here. So
But Hamill's amazing though too. So
Hamill is
for
amazing.
sure.
Great,
amazing.
does a great Joker. So yeah. All right, guys. Anything else you want to just quickly say about this, or are we ready to move on to some Star Wars?
If this was like a Jack Nicholson 4-pack, would you guys want it?
I don't
No,
want it.
I
but I don't
wouldn't.
think I'd
I'll
get
be
it.
honest.
Is there anything like, is there any 4-pack that you would buy that's a single character?
I think Brick nailed it. To be honest with you, like Brick said it best. If it was like say something like maybe it was the Batman, and it came with something like all the characters, Penguin, Riddler,
Yeah, like a
Catwoman, something that's
variety.
sick. That is a collector's dream right there, right? Because you're going to do it anyway. So what the hell? Throw in some fancy dioramas,
do a
all this other
multi-pack.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. I'm going to do it anyway, so might as well. But I think it's super hard to say one character, the same actor, one character, same actor, 4 different looks.
Yeah,
all
it's
at one
tough.
shot.
And then
I
line
think
them
that's
up,
a lot.
line
It's a
them up
lot.
next to each other. That's tough.
Yeah.
Or keep 3 in the box.
Yeah. Catwoman just dropped Yomo
Wait.
saying.
What?
Catwoman just
Oh, yeah.
dropped, says Yomo.
Okay. We might have to hit that up
Oh,
first.
from Dark Knight Rises one?
Interesting.
We might have to
Interesting.
stay with
DC.
DC. Let me just
Yes,
Is she
Catwoman just
good?
dropped. The blogger photos
Yeah,
are
she
up.
did.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go to that, guys. We are going to that live. Stick with it. We are going
You available
to...
anywhere?
Ooh, look at yeah.
Yes.
Where's Sneaker?
They
Underground
Oh, yeah.
figures.
Underground
bro.
figures.
Still available.
We
Dude,
love
I've
you,
been
Ray.
watching those movies. I might have to look at that. How much is
This
she?
is one that I need to get.
I don't
So damn it. You know, just when I was thinking about saving money
he
and like
that-
going
said saving money. He collects hot toys.
Doesn't
all
happen.
right.
What a BP.
All right, well, bringing it up here. Let's take a look at Catwoman. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She's improved for sure.
Look at the thigh.
Of course you
Looking-
see
A
that.
little bit
Enhanced
more
looking.
rounded, a
Enhance.
little bit more feminine.
Enhance.
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 I like her lips look really good.
This is
They
going off
really
the rails
do.
Okay,
quick.
Rick, this is a family show.
Look at her.
Talk
thighs
about her
and lips,
thigh,
guys.
dude. I'm talking about her lips.
I like
it
her
looks-
nails. Okay, be more specific. I like her
Yeah.
fingernails.
Oh, man.
The Office, if anybody
She
gets
looks
that.
smart.
Brick,
Yeah.
she's still available on Sideshow.
Really?
Pre-order.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
what do you guys think of? Honestly, the sculpt looks like the weakest part, and the
I don't think
hairstyle.
I don't think the sculpt looks the greatest, to be honest.
Yeah, this
The
picture looks
body
pretty
is a
rough.
new body, so hopefully it's more proportionate than the old one. But I think it's the same
I think they were.
sculpt with just paint
Is-
apps
oh.
updated.
I don't know, man. It looks different. Like the cheekbones are more pronounced. I mean, I remember this bad boy. I did not like the first one. She's got, more pronounced.
That looks good.
Is there a photo of her without the mask on?
I think so. But
I feel like this
okay,
looks different. Than
I think the
Sideshow
proportions
ones.
look pretty good.
Looks good.
I like it. Hair's
Mike Litteris says he thinks her personality looks amazing.
That's what I said.
The hair is going to be a
hard.
problem. But then again, for the first version, D'Lo, you can correct me if you think otherwise, but I thought the mask held the hair perfectly in place, so it really wasn't a problem. It just kind of looks a little Barbie-ish.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the hairs looks very much the same, very dull hair-ish. Certainly not to be confused with any artisan, but
This is
That
not the
side
artist
profile is really, really bad.
But I will admit, I think this is gonna make you sound like Brick. Can't even say it.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, I'm gonna call it a
I
brick.
didn't bring up a thigh, okay?
pervert.
Yeah, no, yeah, you did not. No, but I think the proportions are very good. Can I say that? I
Yes.
mean,
But how good?
Yeah.
though?
Still
How
pleather.
Simple way.
well,
simple
no, it's a lot
way.
better. She looks more rounded.
Nice.
This
She
is
looks
gonna
like a
get weird.
female, you know? Like she was
Well, she was skinny, like she was very a petite figure when she first got. They kind of used the old.
like Daniel says, she was slender but curvy.
They used to use the old Black Widow body for every female character for a long, long time. I think, like if you have Hela, for example, Hela was like another one of those like old Black Widow bodies that they just, put certain kind of pieces. But yeah, for this one here, this feels more in tone with Anne Hathaway and how she looks. Maybe a little embellished, but not by much. But I don't know. I don't like the
I'm
head sculpt.
stumped on this though.
It's
I'm
weird.
stumped.
Like,
I don't know.
Awesome. I like
Like,
that.
I'm looking at the
side
I'm looking at like the
profile is
prototype
terrible.
photos on Sideshow. This is definitely a
It's better,
drop.
right?
I think the head sculpt.
The
Worse.
head sculpt's better.
that,
Worse?
that,
I
side,
think it's worse.
Really?
that side profile
Yeah.
of her head is terrible.
I think if you're looking at the Sideshow photos compared to this is worse.
See, and this is why I didn't pre-order this because I
Yeah.
really wanted to see how it came out with the sculpt, the hair, but also the pleather, the body proportions. There's a lot like this figure
I don't
really
know,
needed a
man.
2.0. But
The
did they
lips are
do
so
enough
different.
to actually upgrade this
Oh,
to
you
make
got
it
me
worth
looking
me
over here.
picking up? I'm not sure yet.
I don't know.
See, she looks good there, but some pictures she looks really bad.
Some of it
The
could be
lips are a
lighting.
lot different. I feel like from the prototype
It is.
to this
It
one.
feels
It's
more
looks
pronounced.
Way different.
Let me see here.
The lip
Going
shape
back
is even
here.
a little bit different.
Hey chat, what's this retailing at? Let me know. Remind me.
290.
Nah,
Yeah,
man,
290
that's a
on
lot.
Sideshow.
This actually looks like a great pose. They actually got her on the bike and it kind of looks decent. You know, she doesn't look awkward or crunched.
Her shoulders are out of her socket, though. They don't tell you that.
She's definitely on a different body, or at least I can definitely say I just kind of
look
compare
at
the
the seriously
two
though,
over
like
here.
Yeah, looks
the,
good.
the old figure was like a Barbie doll. Like this has some curvature to it. But I do worry still about that leather.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a big thing. I mean,
But then again, I have a Terminator figure who's all pleather. I have a Crow figure. So I
Right.
mean, is it really?
But if you're gonna pose her like that, you got to worry about it.
yeah,
I
this
mean,
is
there's not a
so
whole lot
much
of bend
better.
going on though. It's just in the arms and then the legs.
Yeah.
This suit is a little different. But even people had that peel too. It wasn't pleather, I don't think, but it was still deteriorating.
So what I'm looking for on the face, they definitely did something with the head sculpt. Can you get a close up photo for a
Yeah,
second?
the head sculpt is different.
Because I got
for
the
sure.
sideshow photos pulled up on my side, so I just want to get a
Yeah.
better look.
Did they
Close-
darken
right
the
there, that's
lips
perfect.
in this? Did they like
They-
darken the lip color
They
too?
did. That's more
yeah,
accurate.
that's throwing me off a little bit.
That's
from
more,
the,
but that's
from the
I
other
just saw the
photo.
movie
Yes.
last night, so I know that's accurate. So that
Yeah.
was legit.
I just watched it.
I was ever since
Yeah,
we
so the
started doing
darker
Green
looks
Voices.
more
I went back
accurate,
and watched
yeah.
the movie. True story. But yeah, the cheekbones. I don't know. You know what? I'm seeing them side to
Seems
side.
like the chat split.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
agree
dude. I'm
on
gonna
the
run a
Zio.
poll. You guys keep going here.
I think no, but I think Steve's right though. I think this is a downgrade. I'm looking at the prototype, and it just seems. Yeah, it looks to me. I think the prototype looks way more like Anne Hathaway than this does here.
Her cheeks are like really they're like indented more in the final one too.
Yeah,
She looks hungry.
like her
Jesus
face is
Christ.
more rounded.
She does.
She has a
She
jaw
looks
super strong
hungry.
though. Like yeah,
Well, Mike says the mask
Their
is
jaw
part
is
of
really
the
strong in this
sculpt.
Oh, so you can't
you
take
can't
it off?
detach it anymore.
So
Used
the
to-
first one was not like that.
Yeah, you can detach the original one.
Oh.
Nah, no way.
Doc Bat says yes, the head sculpt is ass.
Yeah,
Damn.
definitely. Is
But
a
how you
downgrade.
figure says I think it looks good personally. And yeah, X-Man can't believe it either. Nick says this figure got me acting up. Put a pillow over it. Collector Joey says, I think it looks good. Mask might as well have been brown bag. The sculpt is so
Oh
bad.
wow,
Jeez.
that bad, huh?
Prototype was
Jeez.
better. Daniel says InArt said they'll do it at some point. I'd still
Thank
get
you,
this
Daniel.
as a
I didn't
placeholder.
know.
I mean, I think it still captures the character
Be
well. You
another
know what I
4-pack.
mean? I think it still like looks like this will still look good. Like it's a good representation of the character for sure. I feel like in the collection, but yeah, the head sculpt's lacking.
Yeah, no, I actually agree. But you know what? Also, too, like I'm looking at it in different lighting, and some it looks better. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah,
This could
one
definitely
of those.
be one
It's
that
one of
in
those
hand,
ones. One of those
in
ones.
hand
Yeah.
looks great.
Yeah, because some photos look fine, some look terrible.
Also, yeah, the lighting in the
Wow,
prototype.
Zio.
You're right, Dilo. The lighting in the prototype, they made it a lot more like a lot
Gosh,
like
you
a
guys are
cooler white on her face.
Mhm.
This is like a drowned out. This is like a
Yeah.
drowned out coloring. Like they
It's
made her
saturated.
pale. Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why they like made this so like a chrome look, like a yeah, it's like a weird. No, Cobb Vance is better.
Oh no, he's not. Don't you say that?
A
You need to
Marshall
stop it.
baby,
Cussing
put some
words.
respect on the Marshall Amos Pelgo.
Hot Toys didn't put any respect on the
Dilo,
Marshall.
Dilo, are you getting this? Are you getting this, Dilo?
You know, it's funny that you say
It's tough.
Covenant because it's kind of the same way for me because it's
That
like
picture looked good. That picture looked good. The one you just
This one
showed.
without the figure in it?
The one she's not in?
No. I think that one looks like that one looks okay.
she doesn't wow
I don't
me,
like
though.
I don't like the side profile. I think it looks pretty bad.
Brick
What do you think of
says
the rear
she's
side
hungry.
profile?
Brick says she looks hungry.
You
This base
hungry,
is really
girl?
cool. This base is really cool, though. I will say that.
can get your dinner.
Looks like she hasn't had a carb in 6 months.
Gosh, see if I got her, I would need the
See, that
I would
looks
need the
good.
Batpod.
I think the lighting's really not doing this justice, though. I really do.
It's
No,
not
like, this
they're
one
not
looks good,
putting
though.
they're not putting enough light on the face. It's like drowned out.
That might be it.
That's it. Like they've darkened it and then warmed it around
But,
the face.
like-
That's not doing any favors.
Like
Yeah.
Cobb Vanth, though, like
Don't you
when
dare.
the shadows hit the face, it looks better. Like this one might be more of the same. Damn it, I'm
Doesn't
probably
look
gonna have to get
terrible
this.
there. I need someone to bite the bullet and buy it first and tell me how it is. Because these pictures, they're not doing any justice. Like it's just like it's actually hurting the figure more than well, maybe
Should've used
they're
a
maybe
different
trying to hide
white.
it. I don't know.
Shade of white. Like that looks better
I like
with
that.
the white with the lighting like that.
Dilo, am I the only one with the bat pod? You don't have the bat pod, do you?
No, I was waiting for her to
trying
come
to
out.
I need to get that.
I'm trying to debate like would I pose her with this diorama base or on the bat pod?
I don't know. I mean, I think on the
'Cause
back
this is
power
a
look
cool
way more
pose.
awesome.
Batpod. Yeah.
This base is cool, man.
But where's this one picture that I liked?
Bane comes with that same base as well too.
This is a cool. I get what Brick is saying. Like it's maybe it's the way the shadows are hitting it, but it's a cool pose too.
I was born in it. All the light.
Super chat first.
The young man before I saw the light.
But this actually looks natural too. Like I don't know what that's gonna do to the suit over time.
Oh, it's gonna wreck it. You know that. It's Hot Toys.
Look at that. It's
That
Hot
thing
Toys.
is hanging back there, though. I'll tell you that.
I think that really sucks. You can't remove like the yeah.
I don't think. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think you can remove it because I don't see
I
that.
don't know, man.
Yeah, are you guys just like in the chat? I know Nick was one of them. Nick's Collectibles. Are you just saying that because we haven't seen any photos without it on, or
Why wouldn't
you
they do a
heard that?
blogger photo without it on?
would
That doesn't
think
make
they
any
would, yeah.
sense. I don't think this thing's removable, man. Why in the blogger photo would you take them all with it on and never have it removed? When
In
you were
Right,
fairness,
showing
though,
the
did.
release?
in the original photos for the first version, they didn't take it off either.
That
But you
doesn't
still
just-
could remove the
why?
mask.
What's going on, Luis? Luis, thanks for being here.
Does this
Keep
say
going.
non-removable? I'm looking that up. That's no
I'm trying
way.
to find it too.
Dumb.
Joey, when is yours coming? When are you getting yours? God, they're ashamed of the head sculpt. That's why it's not removable.
So they're going with like, so is this hair implantation also like their like what technique is this versus what they did for the original one? The
It
same?
looks like the exact same
Yeah,
because
it's the same.
Interesting.
you have that. I'm trying to look here. You have this hard line, but then you have the painted,
Yeah, I got you.
hairlines as well. But yeah, it wasn't the prettiest. This is a figure like they kind of went like halfway on. Like somebody says, I think it was Zio says, and half away. Like seriously, like it needed a 2.0, but it almost needed you to go the whole way in order to make it worth doing a 2.0 for, because you're still using the old rooted hair. The pleather is pleather. Still the same head sculpt, which wasn't terrible. If paint applications can improve some of the shortcomings of the 1.0, then that's fine. But it's tough. This is a tough figure to gauge because I've had the 1.0 as well, and yeah, there's a lot of issues. So I don't know.
I think I'm going to
But
go
I
on.
feel like I
over
need
here.
it.
I think this figure is going to look better in hand. I think the lighting on it here is really not doing it justice. And I say that sincerely just because I can see things that I already like. The body is better. I know that for a fact.
good
Okay,
body.
that's great.
The lighting's
Smoking
bad,
body.
man.
Thank
Wait,
you,
what?
gentlemen. Yes, good body. But no, I think the body's good. I think the way the light is hitting this figure here, it's just not doing like any justice on the face. I really do. Now the hair, I think absolutely sucks. Full disclosure, I think that is still ass. Thank you. Almost 10 years later, you still can't get that right. But I get it. If it doesn't say artisan, technically it's it's whatever. But
Why not just sculpt it at that point? Just like
I think for this figure, it's a little harder to do something like that there, just because you got the mask on and all that good jazz as well too.
were you guys okay? Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to ask, like, for the 1.0, was the hair okay? Like, was it passable to
Very
like where it
dull
was fine?
Barbie hair.
Or would you
Yeah,
rather have
I mean-
would you rather have it sculpted?
Well, I think the problem with sculpted is you want to use her on the bat pod, right? Even if she doesn't
Yeah,
fit
so it doesn't-
perfectly, you're going to
yeah,
need
so
to
you
do a
can't
lot of
mold
head
it.
movement,
Mhm.
and you're not going to be able to
Yep.
move the head at all. So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
it's
needed.
very
That
it's very
something
straight and very Barbie-esque, like, but at the same time, it didn't look terrible.
soft. Yeah, you kind of need
body
it. It
just-
sounds like you need
think-
it for the figure.
I think everything together made it look Barbie-esque, where the body was more stick figure-ish, and then you have the straight hair. Like those two things together really kind of were just
I
like
gotcha.
not making it look very accurate. But
Can you do me a favor one more time? Would you mind going back to the fourth picture? You're on Facebook, right?
yes,
Go back to the fourth picture where she's standing next to.
this one.
Yeah, perfect. You zoom in on that a little bit there.
Oh sure,
Enhance. Nice job.
thank you.
Yeah. What do you think from here?
She's very well. She was pale in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Notice the lips are a little lighter as well too. It's not that darkish, like
Yeah, with
almost
the
I
light.
think it's
lip
good
color.
enough for me. I don't think it blows me away, but I think it's good enough.
I don't know
Yeah.
who said it in the comments, but I do think she looks third party. The head sculpt.
Rick,
Damn, bro.
I'm agreeing with whoever said that in the comments. I mean, come on now. The hair,
You're gonna
there's no upgrade with the hair.
that
We've
word.
already discussed that. I mean, that's third party esque. I mean, we're looking at the head sculpt, the face right now. You possibly can't take off her mask. Doesn't look very
That
good.
really sucks.
I think
that-
Daniel hit it on the head though. Like Bane should have been a proper 2.0 like Bane, but depending on how you want to look at it, they gave them both new bodies. So who knows? Like,
So my question would be, what took them so long to do this? If this is the
That's a good
like the
question.
upgrade that we're getting, this thing has been like isn't this the longest one that's now like the longest running?
Yeah.
it was.
They
yeah.
probably
So
just
what
like
took so
screw it.
long? Like what
They're
took?
probably
so-
like
what took
screw
them
it. Let's just
so
put it out. We
long
can't figure this out.
to make it
So.
when like there's not really that much difference.
Just priority, getting pushed to the
Yeah,
side.
that's a good point.
That's the life of a DC fan in Hot Toys. We always get pushed to the back burner.
Yeah, sad.
I need my Anakin with a stab there. Sorry, Catwoman's postponed. That's
Damn right,
probably
Anakin
exactly
with
what
a stab.
happened. He's like,
Mike
damn
is
right.
his fourth party.
Fourth party. There you go, Mike.
No, she doesn't look terrible. I don't know what I was expecting because don't think she looks too different from the prototype, but I don't know.
Just wait for
I was
the
on the
artist
fence
in
before,
InArt to
so
come out.
Yeah, but then you're going to be forced to have a 4-pack.
Oh no, we don't like 4-packs. Sorry.
Kidding.
He's not.
DLO, are you
Yeah.
getting her?
You know, I might. I'm not gonna say yes. I'm not gonna say I might.
I think I am.
This was one of those where like I like it. I'm not sure. I want to wait until somebody reviews this thing in better light here because I'm convinced these photos are trash. So if it looks better in light, then yeah, I'll probably pick it up. But I'm not paying for no $290. I just saw that. I was like, oof. Was I really gonna buy that for
Yeah.
$290?
Yeah, it's a tough pill
No.
to swallow, but the problem is it's already waitlisted on Sideshow, so it's not like
Right. Wait.
Well, but it's not like it's going to sit in stock and then you're going to be able to like do the 25% off type of thing, because it's already kind of gone. So like
I don't know, man.
that's what
I
kind of
mean,
sucks.
no,
I
mean,
thought
not
Steve said
necessarily.
it was available on Sideshow. I thought Steve
I
just
thought it was
said-
waitlisted.
Let me see.
I don't
It
know.
is no, it's available right now.
Is it?
Actually, yeah, it does say pre-order. Yeah, I don't remember this one ever being out of stock, or if it was, it's
Well,
probably one of those
that
that
actually
came back.
bodes well for me then, because then I might sit on it and wait.
Yeah.
You know,
Really quickly, how you figure with the $1.99 super chat figure of the year? He says, I'm sure he actually likes this. So, yeah, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate the $1.99. Thank you so much for just going above and beyond and donating money to the channel. And he says, Catwoman impressions. Brick, you can go first.
Oh, thanks. I
yeah,
don't even remember any of her lines.
Meow.
seriously.
Meow.
Tick. Doesn't she go like tick, tack, toe? In
Isn't that
Batman
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Returns?
There
Yeah,
you go. That's what you get.
I mean, he just said
That's what you
Catwoman,
get.
so I did mine.
that one's actually more quotable.
I've got 9 lives.
Meow. Meow. Go ahead, D'Lo.
6, 7, all good girls go to heaven.
His
That
voice
was-
doesn't change at all.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I'm not changing my voice.
Great impression.
I just remember the line.
Sneaker.
Tic tac toe.
Ooh, someone got fierce on that one.
Thank you. How you figure? Appreciate
I
that.
just copied Graham.
You've been
Would
on
you like
evil.
She looks.
Any-
I'm still laughing at. She looks hungry.
Oh, man.
Oh
man, Any,
this poor figure.
Any final thoughts?
Graham, did you say you're getting this in D'Lo too?
It's probably going to be inevitable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just,
Graham, you getting this?
Coupon for this.
I'm not.
I don't know though if I can.
I was
stomach-
considering it when I
retail.
heard about it, but just a few minutes ago, but I'm not.
I'm holding. I hope she goes on sale because she's from the age of when Hot Toys was like mass producing everything. So I'm pretty sure Sideshow and everybody else is gonna be sitting on this for a while. So I'm in no rush. I'll be patient on
Yeah, if
this
she drops $100, I'd consider it. But
Jesus.
one.
I
He
mean,
may not be wrong. We might be talking about this figure next year, saying this is a great deal on Sideshow.
right?
Just saying, he's not wrong.
Yeah, how you figure says Graham. Get this, man. I think it's inevitable because, I mean, I have the Tumblr, have the Batpod, Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Bane. So, yeah, it's probably inevitable, but I don't know if I can stomach paying retail for it.
Yeah, totally agree.
Daniel says just wait for InArt DLO, but yeah, then we're going to be waiting for like another 3 to 5 years. So
Easily, man.
we've already waited 2 for this one. All right, let's. We're getting short on time. Let's quickly just kind of visit some Star Wars stuff. But before I do that, I need to close out this poll. So let's see what you guys said. 39 votes. Very good. Very good. Happy with how Catwoman turned out. 56% said yes, and 43% said no. Pretty even split there for the most part. But I don't think she looks terrible. I don't know. I just don't know if she looks. I don't know.
I think
I
we
don't
just
know.
need to see more. I think
Right.
those photos
I need
didn't
to
do
see
any
this
justice,
thing in
so
hand. So
I'm going to give it the
that'll be,
benefit of the doubt.
really good. Yeah. All right, for all you Star Wars junkies out there, we did get Padme, and we also got Commander Fox. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if Commander Fox is gonna get any screen time tonight because Catwoman came out, and now we have Padme. You know, it's basically Woman's Night tonight. You know, outside of Joker. So Padme has been a little bit more of like a divisive release as well. There's been a lot of people saying she looks good. There's been a lot of people say she looks nothing like Natalie Portman. I want to know where you guys stand on this, and obviously if it's something that you're going to get. Sneaker, I want to start with you as our resident Star Wars collector.
Yeah, I pre-ordered this figure actually not too long ago. I was like a late pre-order on this one, but this figure is coming home 100%. Padme, first Padme they've done. Absolutely need to add it into the collection. I think it looks good. This is a good looking picture. The one that you just pulled up. I think I'm fine with.
Off,
No, go ahead.
I don't think it lost much quality from the prototype, but I feel like the head looks a little big. Like I think she looks better with the scarf on.
I think. Well, she doesn't look hungry. I think she looks proportionate.
It's not accurate to Natalie Portman, though.
She looks great, man. I think I have no problem with the head sculpt in this figure. I really don't. I think it looks great. I think it's a really good representation of the character. I think the outfit is fine. There's a lot of people talking about the outfit. If you compare the outfit to actually how it looks next to actual photos from the movie, it's relatively accurate. I don't think I don't have any problems with it. No, it looks really good, man. I'm really excited to finally have a Padme in the collection. You know, I think it's gonna look awesome next to Attack of the Clones Anakin. I guess the one thing is it seems like they kind of like use this same sculpt for like the Thor Natalie Portman figure that's coming out, and could they have made this one maybe look, because like that's Natalie Portman obviously many years later, so it's there's a big age gap there. Could they have made this one there? Could they have made this look like younger potentially? Maybe, but for me it's really not that big of a deal. I'm getting this figure either way. I'm really happy with how it turned out. You
should put her in this pose so she's sneaking around.
This looks like Padme, man. So she's sneaking around. I'm just gonna do that for all my figures.
Have them all sneaking
poses.
Anybody gonna display her with this?
Definitely my number one display choice. Putting this on.
Game of Thrones shit going on right there.
No,
shame.
This is not. Shame. This is I'm really excited to get this figure. Really excited to get it.
Brick, I know you have her on pre-order. What are your thoughts? Yeah. Happy? Concerned?
No, I'm
satisfied.
She does not look hungry. I think she looks fine. I think she does look a lot like Padme. She looks like Natalie Portman, and I think a lot of people were complaining about the suit not being tight enough. But if it was too tight, you wouldn't really be able to pose very well. So I'm okay with that. I'm probably gonna pose her similar to how they have her holding up the gun, like so. And I'm really excited to have her and Anakin. I got them both pre-ordered. Been looking forward to these two figures. I love the prequels, as Sneaker knows, and I'm really looking forward to Padme. And like he said, it's the first ever Padme. Got to have her in the collection, and I mean, hopefully we get more of her. I enjoyed this figure, and hopefully one day we get from almost at Attack of the Clones, but Revenge of the Sith, and go from there.
DLO, are you getting this?
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by Queso's comment. Yes, I will. He just timed that perfect mid thought, and then I saw that. Thank you, Queso.
Unfortunately, I know what movie he's gonna be watching tonight.
I feel like this whole chat tonight, like everybody's going from 6 to midnight. You know what I'm saying?
All of us nerds talking about female figures here.
I mean, the great lead-in. Look at her die, Brick.
Sorry, what was the question?
It's been all downhill in the show ever since that. We had a great, respectful, informative conversation about InArt. Then, oh, look at her lips. No, to answer your question, Graham, yeah, I'm gonna get her. I'm not overly in the mood. I'm kind of in agreement with a lot of the collectors who kind of don't like the. I think she's too thick for Natalie Portman. She's super petite girl. She looks like an older version of Natalie Portman. It is what it is. I'm not gonna be honest. I'm still gonna get her regardless. Flaws and all, I'm still gonna get her just because. Like I just want the representation in my collection for her. I think it looks good. It definitely looks like Natalie Portman, but she looks 10 years too good. What is wrong with you guys tonight? Come on, you're gonna get us in trouble. You're gonna get us in trouble tonight. Stop it. Stop it. I need a second. Yeah, I mean she's definitely looks like Natalie Portman. I'm curious if this is the same head sculpt that we're gonna get with Thor, Love and Thunder. Natalie Portman.
People were complaining that it was the same one, but
it could very well be. I don't know for sure or not, but I mean, it definitely feels like she looks older than she was here, and it's kind of bizarre because even for Anakin, for his figure, they kind of de-aged him and made him like his younger self in that movie. So I'm kind of perplexed why they didn't do the same for Natalie Portman's Padme here, but it is what it is. This would be an interesting figure if collectors wanted to get into it and do a custom, like with the ripped shirt there, maybe give it the good old Phison body that everybody likes to use there and just kind of make it that version. I don't know. I think it's a good looking figure in itself. I think if you get it and don't do anything to it, I think it looks fine. But man, I'm not crazy about it. I like it. I don't love it.
I really like her eyes.
Does she have Sirs?
She's looking to your soul. Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know where we go from here, honestly.
It's all downhill. One more queso comment. I'm
So
done for.
I might be the only one not getting this figure, at least not right away.
Really?
I'm not the biggest prequel fan, and I did not like the movie. But she could obviously fill in for, like even Revenge of the Sith or something like that. Like just having her would be, as a prequel figure would be fine. But if you don't count Rogue One, I mean, I only have Maul and Qui-Gon. Everything else is kind of OT, so that's kind of my focus.
Are you getting Mace? Are you getting Mace or Anakin?
No, neither. So I think the only Star Wars figures I have coming in this year are C-3PO and then both Vaders I'm looking at picking up. So
yeah, for me, she's like my Lando for the prequels. You know what I mean?
Why are you doing this?
Because she's a necessary character.
What's wrong with you?
If it wasn't for Padme and Anakin doing horizontal mambo there, then we wouldn't get Luke Skywalker, the greatest Jedi of all time.
Mommy.
That's right. That's right.
That is Luke's mom. Wow.
That is. You guys forgot that.
What do you mean? Oh, wow.
No way.
No, I'm just
Leia's
playing.
mama.
Coincidence.
I think they could have made. I think the one thing is they could have made her look a little younger. You know what I mean? But again, just it's Padme, man. It's the one finally we get a Padme. Who knows if there's going to be another one that they're going to watch them just drop another. Watch them drop a Queen Amidala for the
I want that,
for the
dude.
25th
I
anniversary
hope so.
line they're doing. That'd be cool.
Really quickly. I want to say hello to Marcos, Collector Zone in the house, stopping by to say what's up. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Too sweet to you, my brother. Yeah, I don't know. Casablanca, I don't know if he's out away at college, just having a little dorm party or whatnot, but he's getting a little loose lip tonight, so he's having a good time. But MRC has a quick unboxing of her.
Oh, nice.
There you go. You guys can go check that out on the tube. Yeah, I don't know. I think she looks fine. She looks fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I might be with D'Lo where like I'm not like blown away, but I also don't think she really looks that much different from the prototype. So
No, I think it looks very similar.
I'm gonna close this poll out, so guys, make sure that you vote if you see Natalie Portman in this head sculpt, because some people are like, I don't see her at all. I'm like, what?
Well, that's just silly. Like it definitely looks like
It
just
looks like
her in her mid 20s to early 30s.
Right.
should
Yeah,
look a
yeah.
little younger. Do white outfits like freak you guys out at all? I feel like I just like worry about getting them dirty. Like if you get them dirty, like what?
Not enough to like stop me from getting it. But yeah, like I worry about just the yellowing over time.
Krennic freaks me out. Like just handling that figure. Krennic is like,
You got a New Hope Leia.
yeah.
Still
Doc
doing good,
Brown.
man. All these years later.
Yeah, my Leia's good. Krennic's good.
Moon Knight's looking sharp.
All right.
see.
28 votes, 67% said yes, they do see Natalie Portman in that head sculpt. 32% said no. Cool.
Not bad.
Any final thoughts?
Figure the
We're at-
year.
We're
Finally a Padme. It's crazy.
we're at 2:05 minute mark here, 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm gonna give you guys the choice of Fox, or we talk a little bit about this J&D tease. We go back to DC, or we stick with Star Wars.
Why not both?
Shit, I got pissed, man.
How about like a quick 1-2 on the Fox guy, and then go to J&D?
All right, 1-2 on the Fox guy. Let's no head sculpt, so pretty much just a damn straight stormtrooper.
He's not a stormtrooper. He's a clone trooper. Okay.
Ugh.
Sacrilegious.
Clone Wars
How
guy.
dare
himself.
you?
Yeah, it's offensive. I've been offensed.
Anybody jump in?
I'll get my piece out quick. Great looking clone. I won't buy it.
Yeah,
Done.
I'm good.
Done.
Looks good. Looks good, but I'm good.
Wow.
Sneaker, how many are you getting?
All right,
3?
so I got the floor for 10 minutes. Here we go, baby. All right, let me tell you a little history about Commander Fox. All right.
While you do that, I'm gonna go take a leak.
No, I'm just kidding.
10 minutes is more than his
wait,
actual screen
no,
time in the show.
stay.
At least shut the door this time. Oh, nope.
See,
Okay.
can I ask you a question though? Like
Yeah.
since he's gone, he's taking a shit. So, what is your fascination with these troopers here? If you don't mind me asking, because when I was going through and like watching the Clone Wars, and then like I saw Fox pop up, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing this guy in the show. I had to look back up. Like, I mean, stop me if anybody else. I'm the only one who's done it. I had to Google him, find the episode of what he was in, and then it was just like a snippet. He was there for like 60 seconds or something like that, and everybody goes crazy about what's the deal.
I think you just have to like look at how much you value, I guess, like the Clone Wars and how like if you were really into it. And I think too, like clones are tricky because it would be hard for me to just have a couple. Like my Clone Wars shelf is like just loaded up. You know, like both Bark Speeders, Heavy Weapons clone, 501st, Commander Oppo, got Captain Rex in there. So like for me, it's more just like clones are good for, and troopers too. Like I like doing like creating scenes similar to like the Jeddah Patrol Stormtroopers where I have all 3 of them together in the same case. Like I like that look and like building like trooper scenes. As I'm not like a huge standalone trooper person. You know what I mean? Like same with like Krennic, I have 2 Death Troopers next to him, like the specialists. So like I like using them more as like companion pieces and building a scene. And Clone Wars figures, like there's so many clones that you can just do so much cool stuff with. For me, does that answer your question?
Yeah, totally.
I think that's the main thing, but that's an investment. That's a lot of space, and it's like takes away from getting other stuff. But I've always loved troopers. Clones are no exception to that. Like they're just really cool designs. This figure, I'm not gonna get him, at least not right away. I really wish they would have done phase 2 before they did this one. Like I don't have this Coruscant guard either, but yeah, it's just I really wish they would have done phase 2 first. He's a cool figure though. He's really cool. I like the design. It's just there's a lot of stuff I'm getting right now and a lot of stuff coming out that I'm sure he'll be available down the road to be able to scoop up at some point. So not something I'm going to get right now, but nevertheless, I mean, it's always nice to get more Clone Wars themed stuff because you can just build a lot of cool stuff around it. He's kind of like an outlier right now. There's not a lot you can really put around him unless you have just like other phase 1 clones and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of my piece on it. But cool figure.
Could I pair him with Chewbacca?
Yeah. Compare him with whatever you want. Yeah. But it's always nice to
Han
get clones.
Solo.
I wish we would get some more, named clones and like round out some of the more main the main clones that are in Clone Wars and stuff.
Are you
But,
disappointed he didn't come with a head sculpt like the other?
I just don't
Commanders?
really. Not really for this particular one. I think like when you look at ones that have a lot more character, like you get into the Bad Batch figures, like that's when it's necessary.
Right.
And like Captain Rex, I feel like that's a necessary one to do. But for him, I'm fine without it coming with a head sculpt or coming without a head sculpt. I don't really think it's necessary for this figure. Like Jesse, he's one that just has an incredible head sculpt with the tattoo and stuff. Very cool to do, but this one just doesn't need it, I don't think. But all for more clones. But I'll wait on this one.
Is there a chance we still get any more 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi figures? Or did that have to be in 2023? Because I'm still pissed that we only got C-3PO and Darth Vader.
Oh man.
I think they would have at least announced it by then. Yeah.
How did
ridiculous.
40th for Empire work out? Did they announce them all like
They were
the
late.
same year?
That's what I was just going to
Were
say
they
they were
late?
late. Yeah,
And maybe
like,
we could potentially still get one.
I remember it was hyped up about the anniversary for that movie, and it was just like, oh, we're definitely going to get this on May. We didn't get nothing, but then right away, like Hot Toys kind of like repackaged a Vader, repackaged a Boba Fett, and put it in that old school
Right.
Kenner style packaging there, and that was the first official ones. They're just recently released figures. They just repackaged, and it's called the 40th anniversary. Then we started getting more afterwards. So, to your question, Graham, I say there's always hope. No pun intended. Always hope.
What a
It's
joke.
rebellion. But yeah, I think it'll happen. I just don't think it. Hot Toys works on our timeline. We know
No,
there's
they don't, that's for
anniversaries,
sure.
and we're aware of that. But they'll throw us a bone, and they'll pick it up later. That's just kind of the Hot Toys way with these kinds of things. You'll get it. Whatever you're looking for, it's going to be made for Return of the Jedi for sure.
I feel like I'm like Star Wars theory. Like I really like the OT, and I feel like that's dying. Like Disney's trying to forget about that and build their own franchise with the sequels and stuff. And like with all these new kids like Sneaker being into the Clone Wars and Rob with the
kids.
prequels, and don't you feel
I'm
like
not that-
we're almost like
I'm not that
dinosaurs,
much-
Dio?
I'm not
Like
that much younger
Yeah,
than
they-
you, bro.
I definitely
like-
feel like that. I mean,
like don't you feel like we're like less of Star Wars fans because we primarily like the OT and
Like-
that's
Hold
like,
on.
I'm not
what
cool.
made
Oh,
I primarily
wow.
like the OT before
I'm not
anything.
cool because I didn't know.
Hold on a
because-
second.
I primarily like the OT as well.
No, Brick
Come on
doesn't.
now.
Brick doesn't
No,
like
that's not
the,
true.
No.
Rick,
Just
you like
because
the
I
the
do.
prequels.
original mid trilogy.
No. I
Thank
like.
you.
I like.
You kept
I
the
like.
receipts.
No. Okay.
OT is always
good.
the GOAT. I would take OT over anything figure wise. You know what I mean? Did I grow up with the prequels in theaters? Yeah, but OT is like I
But
saw
even-
the OT still before prequels. You know what I mean?
But
Sure.
even
This
if
is
with
the
all the
best.
new stuff, if you don't keep track with all the new stuff, I just feel like less of a Star Wars fan, even though I love the original trilogy. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just weird. Like
Sorry,
I feel
Brick, I
like
cut
I'm
you
getting
off.
old, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly collecting and seeing how much attention.
And they don't want to
people
make
give
and they don't
not
want to make
OT.
OT figures, you know?
They haven't forgotten though, because like also Sand Trooper Dewback, that's a big investment of something to make.
That's
You
a
know
good
what I
point.
mean?
Something here.
Sand Trooper Dewback is not something I feel like to take lightly as far as something they're releasing from original trilogy. That's a big investment for them to have to create something like that. An expensive piece, OT, like they haven't forgotten. There's going to be, and also you got to remember, like, I know we're not getting Return of the Jedi, but we're still getting like a definitive C-3PO, Return of the Jedi Vader. Like we're still getting good stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's not going to stop. Star Wars is not, they're not just going to stop doing it in my
Yeah,
mind.
the problem with Hot Toys is they focus so much on OT trilogy in the beginning when they started doing Star Wars. So it's like, there's a lot of the stuff is already out there, to be
A lot of
had.
OT.
A lot of OT still out there, and they made a pit stop on the Disney trilogy, which they didn't know, but they did. But yeah, I think when it comes to, for me, I think with Hot Toys, I think the strategy is like OT is like all reliable. When in doubt, there's a problem, you can throw out an OT and somebody's going to buy that. But Clone Wars and all that stuff, like that passed me by. I mean, there's a passionate fan base, but as a Star Wars fan myself, I didn't keep going with that. After the trilogy was over, I didn't watch Clone Wars until much later on. And, I appreciate it for what it is, but I'm still not picking it over OT. But I think right now Hot Toys is like, well, this is hot right now. It's easy to make. It's a repainted Trooper. These are a dime a dozen for us. We already got the molds for it. Let's push it out while it's still hot. But I think push come to shove, if in case of emergency break glass, they'll rip out an OT figure just like that. So
They
I think
better.
that's the way they kind of do it nowadays.
Don't forget what got you here, right?
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty much just going through like a crisis here. So yeah, I
Your
had to get
camera's
that
going
out.
through a crisis because every 2 seconds you look like you're in witness protection.
Damn it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe get myself more in the middle there.
That's a good point. There's like no OT. Like those are the only Sand Trooper Dewback, C-3PO, and Return of the Jedi Vader are like. There's nothing really
That's
else.
it.
I guess. What is there? Are there any other pre-orders right now that are Star Wars OT?
No.
I think that's it. We're due for an OT drop at some point.
All right, moving on. We have J&D, which we did talk about that one week, I think. But they're teasing. Let's skip around here. They teased their logo for most of this video, but then we're coming in closer
Seriously?
here to a Batman Armory. Now, they've announced their Joker with the silicone skin and the magnetic rolling eyes and all this cool stuff. But now they're showing a Batman Armory, which we've gotten from Hot Toys back in the day. So I have two questions. What's the price on this? Is it going to be outrageous like the Joker? And then B, what makes this different than Hot Toys? You know, because they're kind of similar. Like, is it going to be like die cast or like what are they going to do different, or are they just coming out with their own armory? So that's kind of where I'm at with this. Did you guys watch this? This is pretty much it. I mean, it's just another beginning, and then it shows the armory. It's got cool blinking lights. At least that's for effect. But it looks great, but it looks the exact same as the Hot Toys. So I'm just wondering.
Is this gonna have faceplates and stuff?
I don't know. This is all they showed. This is it, man.
If
If
they
they're
just
gonna do a
do,
Bill
like,
Batman.
if it's a straight up armory, throw that shit away. That's my opinion. Because if I can't take that Batman out and it's just like, here's my Batman that I can't use, I'd like instant pass there.
I feel like this is gonna be a removable, and they're probably gonna do silicone faceplates.
I
don't
need
see why they wouldn't.
I need an armory,
Not
but
this
I don't need one for top dollar. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, what is it gonna be?
Again, it's just a teaser, so we don't really know a whole lot. But I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, let's zoom out a little bit towards the Batman body a little bit more, just so we can kind of see what it looks like a little bit better. Because I mean, we've all, for the most part, seen a Batman from Hot Toys, right? So let's compare a little bit. Like, what makes this one special?
Facts.
Facts.
Is that too far out? Is that close enough?
I guess as good as what we got to work with here, so
Right.
might as well.
Yeah, go to like that one right there.
This one?
Yeah.
The chest?
Yeah, do you want something closer, DLO? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
you wanted the
yeah.
whole thing, though.
I did, but he's right. Let's get it. We need something
I
closer.
feel like we can't get the whole thing looking good.
Oh, damn it.
Come on.
Yeah, that's good enough. Maybe they're gonna sell this thing for like $1,200, and all of the accessories, like the batarangs and everything, is actually like die cast.
$1,200 die cast armory. That's even worse than $1,200 set of figures, because that thing is just gonna sit there.
Oh, yeah, for
like
sure.
this is it. Just that's
100%.
not really like. There's not really. That's like a display. I mean, actually, I kind of take it back, because like diorama pieces are expensive in general too.
Sure.
They are just sitting there to like set the scene. But I mean, like, do you need them to be die cast if they're gonna like sit
No.
just like on a rack?
I'm just trying to think
No.
of a reason why this would be J&D expensive. But if this is like, I don't
Maybe
know,
it won't be. Maybe it won't be.
$500, $600, and it's
Yeah, maybe
really
it won't
just
be.
like almost like a reissue, but from J&D, I could see a lot of people being interested, because there's a lot of people that missed out on the Hot Toys armory. Yeah, you have that new one coming out from the Dark Knight Rises, but I don't know. To me, if I could pick between the two of them, I think I'd pick this one, the classic one.
Hmm.
I think this is going to be way
Where
more
the hell
than
did you get
that.
the 500 for? I'm lost there.
I'm just guessing. I'm just saying if it's in
Oh.
that range. Like, let's just
It's
say,
not.
let's just
Yeah, I
say
think it's gonna
there's
be
nothing
like-
special about it, like to make it $1,000, but they're just coming out with their own armory, and it's $500-600.
I thought they showed this with
That'd
like
be interesting.
with Bruce
There was a
Wayne
Bruce Wayne,
standing
too.
next to
Mhm.
it too. It's going to be a
Oh,
silicone
probably
Bruce
in the
Wayne.
first video, maybe.
It's going to be a silicone Bruce Wayne that comes with it, and it's going to have a premium price tag. That's just going to be my guess. That's going to be my guess. It's going to
Yeah,
be a
agreed.
set. It's going to be a set with Bruce Wayne. He's going to be silicone. It's going to come together. That's going to be.
And you can't put him in the suit?
Because it's Kojin Works. Like Kojin Works is I'm like that's what was like kind of marketed as their 1/6 like premium silicone line. Unless maybe they're not doing silicone for every figure. I don't know.
That'd be
But,
so
like-
bizarre to do it and then like take it
Oh, yeah,
away
Yeah,
right
like,
away.
there's Bale. Like,
So they
it's
blurred it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. They teased. They
That
only
hurts my
teased the
eyes.
armory and took the other figure out of there. So, yeah. Yeah. But I don't see why you would. There's no way in my mind they
Still
do
work
the
in
armory
progress,
without
maybe.
the suit being removable and have this just like Hot Toys does it, where you can put on face plates, or there's a sculpt that's like a helmeted or a cowled sculpt. They're probably going to have something like that. And it's going to be silicone. That'd be my guess.
Maybe we're looking at this all wrong. Maybe the entire display is the figure. Diorama.
Like
Yeah,
you're
like-
saying the whole entire
The
like
whole thing.
Diorama.
I'm just saying. I'm not. No, I'm
this
just
would be
teasing.
this would actually though, like if you put this in like a DF 120 or something as a look, it would. I mean, it'd be a. I feel like you're wasting a lot of space, but it would look really cool if you could do it.
Like a $4,000 set. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a small
this
price
is-
to pay.
Just in one.
If anybody
one
has
big
an
case.
armory for like $250, let me know, and I will pick that up from you.
He would
Hmm.
drive there.
I will drive,
Pick that up.
and you will meet me, and I will buy it.
I don't know,
X-Men
man.
says
Like,
this, bro. This is J&D. This
Yeah.
shit's gonna be like 3,000.
he's not wrong. It could be up in that ballpark there, $2-3 grand. It's on the table, especially if you throw in like a Bruce Wayne on top of that. There, come on.
See, but Nick just proves my point because I said if it was in the $500 range, I'd be interested. But yeah, we're looking at over 1,000, 3,000, which I think
it's
is
gonna
high.
be-
But
To be as a set, I feel like.
Again, we
But
don't
yeah,
know the price,
it's gonna
but
be
we're
a set,
speculating what
so-
the price is going to be based off the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
what's up, Steven with a V? It's the Wolfpack. Too sweet to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Jazzy says their 1/3 Bale looked old as fuck.
He did. He did. I saw that one. Wasn't impressed by that.
Daniel
Alright, so
thinks
let's-
it'll be armory with hollow suit, Batman in the suit, and Bruce Wayne.
There's your
That will be-
3K.
there's your 3K.
There's your-
Yeah,
There's your
3
4K.
4K.
Yep.
yeah. I do think I do think 1.5 is a fair floor to the price point.
Easily, if the
But-
2-pack silicone Joker was like that much money,
Mhm.
just for like the silicone
Yeah,
head sculpt
because
and
the
hands,
Bruce Wayne will
oh my
obviously be
gosh.
silicone, and then you get the armory with it.
Yeah.
So
And that
yeah,
one
it'll
came
be
with a
pricey.
couple dogs and a base. This comes with a whole entire armory. This is gonna be like, yeah, this is gonna be north of 2K. I feel like easily.
Yeah, I agree with Sneak. It's going
Yeah.
to be higher than 2K.
Yeah.
So if
it's
anybody's got
I
that
feel
Hot
like
Toys
she was
armory,
really low.
let me know. Hit me in the Discord group.
What armory do you want, Graham? Like what one?
I want this one. I like this one better than the one that's on pre-order.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you want like the older one that already came
Yeah,
out? Yeah, gotcha.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, gotcha.
I kind of like the Rises one, man. The new one.
They both look great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that one either. It's just I don't know something about
Yeah, the Rises one looks cool.
Maybe
this
because it was
one.
in a proper bat cave is why I like it. This one
So-
came from like a garage.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Let's maybe
True.
just do a little comparison. So the Hot Toys version with the new one, you get the armory. You're gonna get the statue Bruce Wayne, and then you also get kind of the empty bat outfit as well, right?
Right.
And how
which
much is that?
would
Like
be
5 something.
like $570, I think it was when we looked.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a poll here and see which you guys would rather go after here. So you guys can keep talking so we don't have dead air, but I'm gonna type
Yeah,
this up.
570, and that's gonna come with a removable That's gonna come with a removable suit and like a sculpted cowled head, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's like that's such a hard price to beat. Like, just
Now, I know this is really just tease, so take that with a grain of salt when you do this poll. But I think I really want to know, like, what you know about the Hot Toys, the new Armory, versus this one. Which one would you guys rather have in the chat? Like, do you like the look of the Dark Knight Rises Armory and the statue-esque Bruce Wayne, or would you rather have the classic version with like that silicone Bruce Wayne type of body, even though it's going to cost probably a lot more? So let us know in the poll.
Trying to look and compare the two bat suits from the new Armory and this one here. This one definitely looks a lot bigger in like size for Bale suit. Like, I'm so used to seeing Bale in this like slenderized like design of his there, but this one looks like it's a bulkier suit. I don't know if it's just the perception just because it's so far away, but it looks like it's a thicker suit from what I can kind of gather a little bit here. Does that mean it's better? Only time will tell, but I definitely feel like they're going for this high. I mean, okay, let's start with the actual armor itself here. I had the original one. It was plastic. It was flimsy. The accessories fell out quite often, like the batarangs and stuff like that. I fell out constantly. Anytime you open it, it would kind of get stuck because it's kind of like a snap-on kind of like a thing for the doors, if you will. So if you were to close them shut completely, to pull them out, it'll kind of have like that kind of lift up and kind of pull out kind of maneuver there. But what could they do to make this one work? Let's say hypothetically $2,000. Like, what do you guys think they would do here? I think Sneaker, I think you said maybe die cast, like possibly Graham. Some possibly
yeah, like how do you make the armory itself really premium? Like, you got to make it metal,
right?
Yeah, I would think so too. I mean, this thing will weigh a ton.
Yeah, it's got to be heavy duty.
Right.
I feel like I think of like InArt's Joker, like the jail cell is like solid wood and like it's literally wood and metal bars. Like, it's a premium, like it has a premium feel to it. Like, you got to do it to that level.
Yeah.
Casablanca has a good point. You know, we talk about gatekeeping, and Hot Toys is gatekeeping kind of that new Batman suit with that armory as well. So keep that in mind. What's the difference between that and the DX19? Basically, the gloves go inside the gauntlets, and then
yeah,
they
accurate.
Yep, they updated a couple pieces of the suit, and then they're doing a new masked likeness as well, like a new mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Maybe I should pre-order that one.
Actually, I kind of want the armory too, because I need to get a Dark
Armory.
Knight Batman. But I don't know if I need the armory though. Just steep.
You take. No, I need the whole thing. I was
You
gonna
can
say,
have the power.
Batman,
You can have
I'll
the
take
power
armory,
pose,
but-
Bruce Wayne. I'll keep the rest.
I'll always think of Mike Litteris when I see that thing, because that's his like profile picture. I'll always think of him.
Yeah, the leg. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't have a DK Batman, and I was considering the armory. Guess is all the weapons in the armory will be die-cast metal. Yeah, that's what I said, man. Get you some bang for your buck. Yeah, I mean,
there's a way to justify it though, in my humble opinion. I just don't see this being something that a lot of people will go for, unless they're already, buying J&D stuff. I just don't think it's for us,
right?
Hot Toys people and art people. I just don't think so.
So I'm ending the poll, and it looked like the Hot Toys version won out pretty easily. For some reason, it's not showing up for me though. Anybody else see the poll results?
No, I don't see it.
I ended it, but it's not loading for me.
Said your vote but didn't go through. That's bull.
Recount. Guess we'll see. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, again, this is very early stages, so we're going to have to kind of sit back and wait and see. But I would I'll just be ready for this to be an extremely expensive piece as well. Maybe even more than the Joker 2-pack, possibly. I don't know. You guys got any final thoughts on this?
Stop making expensive shit so I can buy more.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
out
That's
of my
what I'm
range.
saying.
That's
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
saying.
like not
Go
even
back.
on my radar of getting.
I don't like automatically being like, well, too expensive, so I can't even think
That
about it. You
sucks.
know, I don't
Yeah.
like being like that, but I think a lot of us collectors have to be like that because it's just unrealistic. You know, it's a small market that can afford this stuff. So, and
Especially after seeing like the J&D Joker, like what the upcharge was on some of these like distributors is just like the price was already like so high, and then the upcharge just like even sent it even more astronomical. So yeah, for me, it's like not even on my radar to consider getting this, sadly, because it's cool.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be awesome, but it's just not even. That's where you got to draw the line, you know.
I mean, it's just one of those things where like we want stuff, but I mean, it's not technically for us, right? We kind of fall into that middle ground there where, you know, we know it exists and we like it, we want it too, but these guys are not, you know, they're not responsible for the upcharges and stuff like that, which, you know, I agree, Sneaker. I think it's BS how much some of these things get marked up once they get released to those guys there. But I mean, they got to they got to make money as well too at the end of the day. But
Oh yeah,
I don't know, man. I think honestly, for a company like J&D, I'm not going to take them serious until they get a U.S. license and
Sure.
it's something that they can actually prove they can do something at a reasonable dollar point for my market. But for now, I know this isn't for me, so it's all
yeah,
good.
that's a fair point. Just an FYI, the 76% said they'd rather have the Hot Toys new armory than the J&D armory. Probably price
Yeah.
being a big problem, you know, proponent in that. Really quickly too, we have Mr. Maju Space himself, Brian Wong, in the house. Hello,
Hello,
panel
hello.
and all. What is going on, my friend? Too sweet to you, my brother. Thank you for stopping in. I know he's a busy guy shipping out all of those Maju cases, so appreciate him just taking time out, yeah, to say hi to us. So, having said that, we are nearing the end of the show, and it was a great show. Chat, as always, you guys did great. Panel, we had some really good discussions here tonight, really good topics. Really quickly, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but just want to let you guys plug your channels. So, Sneaker, I'll start with you.
Oh yeah, so I just dropped my Cobb Vanth review, I forget, a couple days ago, and then I'm working on a couple other reviews right now. I'm reviewing Wrecker, which is almost done. It's just I just haven't had time because of some craziness at the household. But Wrecker's coming, and then Iron Man Mark III I'm working on a review for as well. And then I got a couple other figures coming in. The Mark V's coming in for tomorrow, and then upgraded Goblin. So I got some reviews I'm going to be doing. Got some other videos in the pipeline. Might be doing a live stream on Friday. Undecided yet because I just got a lot going on. But yeah, that's pretty much the main thing. Jazzing Batmobile's coming home. Hopefully we'll be here next week. So really excited
on that, right?
It said estimated like February 6th. So hopefully
Quick.
that actually happens. Like that's Tuesday. So we shall see if that actually happens. But either way, obviously really stoked to get that. Hopefully Batman ships here soon. But yeah, a lot of stuff coming in, a lot of content in the pipeline. So yeah, that's it.
All right. Brick, how about you?
Yeah, I got no Batmobile coming in, but I do have a new video out, Top Wanted Grails. That came out, I believe I put it out yesterday. I'm gonna be on Visions on Saturday morning with Shane, Figure Focus. And then I do have my live stream coming back Monday, the Bugle 6. So that is every first and third Monday of the month. So looking forward to that with Flavio. And we do have guests down the road for episodes 3 and 4 that I will announce later.
Very good. And DLO The Collector.
Yeah, Luke
I
is
know
done.
you're-
Luke is done.
Ooh.
Yep.
Nice.
That's dropping this weekend. I'm about 75% done with Frank Villain, and I decided, in honor of my best friend EvilSneaker, I'm going to do a Cobb Vanth review myself. It's going to be a little twist there. I didn't want to say it to him before we got on and Graham got to this part here, but I'm going to do a review on it, and it's going to be a little different. It's with a twist.
I'm shocked.
It's going to be a review based off my influencing friend over here forcing me to buy this figure when I didn't want to buy it. So it's going to be funny. It's going to be a parody of a review, not an actual real review. So should be funny. I think it's going to be funny. So yeah, why you shouldn't collect with friends. I think that just settled on the title right now.
We'll see it. We'll see it in 2025, guys.
Oh, stop. 2026.
I'm just
What's up,
kidding.
Loki?
2026. Push it out a little bit more. Dude, I'm excited to see that now. Wow.
No, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
looking
going to do a
forward to that.
parody review.
Yeah,
Very
nice.
good.
There you go.
Nice.
Figured I didn't want, but
Nice
I bought
one.
anyways. Let me explain.
And again, if you guys want to see these videos like right when they come out, obviously subscribe to our channels and hit that notification bell. But join us in Discord, and then we can post too when we're having new videos come out too, so you can see those right away. As for me, I'm looking at possibly doing a video. It's actually something I don't think I've seen before. It's like a top 5 figures I sold, but then couldn't live without. You know, that I maybe bought back or something like that. So like I just couldn't live without them. So I think I'm gonna do a video on that. May review the Tusken Raider or Star-Lord, but I don't know because you know they're older figures, so I'm not really sure if there's a interest in that. But we'll see. But outside of that, I think that's about it. So yeah. Another fun show in the books, episode 37. We are inching closer to 50, which we should hit probably this summer. And maybe we'll do something fun for that. But thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for being active in the chat. Thank you for all who are channel members. Thank you for the super chat. And hopefully you guys stay safe out there. And until next time, see you soon. Good night. And too sweet to all of you out there. Love you guys. Goodbye.